Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we've started. I suck at intros. But yes, oh God, yeah, of course, as soon as it goes live, my ability to talk just absolutely drops because we were joking perfectly fine before I hit a button. It's like the button was also tied to my joking bone. Oh, thank you for the head pass.
Maybe you should introduce yourself.
Maybe I should. It's like people just came in here have no idea who I am. But yeah, I am Pandoramonium. Pandora is way easier because my name is an absolute mouthful. I get that. I am your host here on both Twitch and YouTube. I am a Phoenix Fox Kitsune Ninja. And yeah, I make YouTube content primarily. I do stream. Getting back to that as of recently, Tuesdays is the stable one. I'm trying to add at least one more. Maybe Fridays. Maybe this will become a new slot slash redeemed slot. But yeah, that is roughly what I do is make VTuber content, lots of it streaming and YouTube videos. And with me is my friend of many, 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 many years.
Or
Ashiana.
Asiana, the angel of nature. Hello, everyone. Uh, I also sometimes get called Oz because people look at my name and cower in fear because there's a Z and an X in it. Uh, I mostly do ASMR, sometimes game streams, and also make microphones professionally, which is part of why I'm here today.
Do you want to go over the disclaimer, or shall we just leave this awkward
Oh,
pause where it is?
okay. So, TLDR, I pitched this idea of talking about like VTuber agency applications to Pandora because I recently did something on Twitter that ended up feeling like I was on the receiving end of a bunch of VTuber agency applications. Not exactly the same, but more or less the same like process slash idea. So for my company, where I make microphones for ASMR artists, I was like, hey, I want a partnership with people, like be able to like work with them, that sort of thing. And we threw this up on Twitter with a friend helping out with marketing and such. We expected like 5 responses. Yeah, we got over 100. and not just like, oh, we're gonna get like a few like small people and we'll partner with them, that kind of thing. No, everything from the tiniest creator to the largest creator, and oh, it was so many applications. So yeah, eventually after going through all that, there was some point where I'm like, I feel like I am on the receiving end of a bunch of like applications to a VTuber agency, and so I decided to pitch this idea to Pandora because she talked a lot about the creator and VTuber industry on her channel, so I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah, and I have recently talked with several VTuber managers. If you haven't seen that series, it's really good. Super proud of that. Some of them are short, some of them are long. All of them absolutely worth watching. And I did a summation at the end of like what I would do, what I learned, and gave some insights and some hopefully very helpful tips if you do want to go that route. Thinking of getting a manager, that is. But this is basically like Oz has the idea of what it's like to comb through like thousands of applications of people saying, pick me, I want to do this
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yes.
And these agencies, they get thousands of applications, and I only had to go for 100. And I was 100 over 3 days, and I was like, I am tired.
Yeah, and I guess a little bit of backstory on part of why I think I can add to this is, not only the whole interview stuff and all the other YouTube videos I've done, but in the real world, I have hired, I have fired, unfortunately. I have, of course, tried out for jobs, and I all that kind of stuff. So I've seen the entire hiring process from multiple angles. So this is roughly what it is. It is a job that you're applying to. It's not this, like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
I get to sit on my couch and play games and get paid for it kind of thing. It's a freaking job. People don't really think of it that way, I think, but it is absolutely a job.
Yeah, 100% a job. I've also done the having to go for applications and figuring it out bit. And as I said, it's tiring. You really have to figure out like between different people that can look exactly the same, like which is better for the company, or am I just flipping a coin?
Yep. And we're going to go into several different sections, kind of breaking this down bit by bit and giving our opinions, our observations, things that we might have gone through that's pretty darn similar, and hopefully get you some good insight into this.
Well, take it away,
Yes. Let me
Foxy.
let me pull up my list of things.
Oh,
All
you
right.
have a list for all this? I
Yes,
see.
I'm a list making fox.
A very prepared fox.
Oh yeah, absolutely, very very prepared. I like to write scripts and keep things fairly on track. Otherwise, my fox brain kicks in, and then I'm all over the place, like the intro that I tried to do, all over the place. But we're at
Yeah,
the. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah.
What were we saying?
I definitely do the whole script thing not, and then proceed to ad lib everything and be like, damn, I should have wrote a script.
Yeah, I tried that when I was initially starting, and oh my god, editing was hell.
Oh no, not the editing.
Yeah, I do my own editing,
Hey,
so yeah.
I don't have to edit this later.
Oh god, why'd you bring that up? I have to edit this, or I just leave it as a long ass stream and hope everybody watches it. Well, at least this is getting cut.
Just because of that, I will leave this as a stream.
Yeah, exactly. If I might just go, nah, I got better things to do. Oh, but yes, to move us forward so my editing self, my future self, doesn't have to really worry too much. The next part is like, what are agencies actually looking for? Like, whenever they throw these applications out, I've done research on this for a prior video. It's I think it was called "Don't Go Corbo," but there's more to dig in. That's also why I wanted to touch the subject again. But a lot of them have very same or similar questions. Some will have totally different questions, just like one or two, not very many. But there's a reason why they're asking these things. It's not just let's like have ChatGPT make us a list of questions and go with that. There's actual reasons behind these.
Yeah, and before we get started, I want to put a disclaimer out there. I will be talking in general terms about the application process for the partner program for Halo Mics, but I'm going to be talking in general terms, and I will not bring up any one specific account or even a small subset of accounts, just general things that I saw that went wrong and things that can be better.
I'll just reply to this verbally. I didn't want to cut you off. Lamp Devil is like, yay, someone else's problem. Like, exactly. No, wait, it's my problem. It's not someone else's. It's totally all me. My future foxy self is going to be sitting here going, God damn that bird. What did she drag me into?
You're like, ooh, that sounds like a good idea. We should totally do that.
What, drag me into things?
Yeah, I suggested an idea with it's, in your wheelhouse, and then you're like,
yeah.
Yes, I don't have to think of the content.
No, I did have to think of the content. I have a whole freaking document of things that I want to talk about.
Did James just call me a parrot?
Yeah. I said she laughed like a parrot. I might be laughing like a parrot. I don't know. Because there are two she's on the screen.
Oh, yeah, definitely you're the parrot.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally the parrot. It's all the colors, which technically would work. Oh, God, if we had a love baby, it would be a parrot.
No. It would very much be a parrot.
It would be a parrot. Oh, the green one. Yeah, James is totally talking about you.
Here, hold on. There you go. There's my dove hood. It's not parrot, but... Anyway, take it away, Ventura.
I tried, but we got so sidetracked. So what are agencies looking for? Like on your project, you were looking for a certain kind of thing. So odds are you designed your questions behind that. So like what were you looking for, and then what kind of questions did you end up picking? So I haven't seen your forms at all. At least I think I know you gave me a tiny peek, but I totally forgot. So it's like I haven't seen it.
So for this particular well, I guess you would say application process, we didn't actually use any questions because we were not expecting this to be like that. Like we didn't expect oh, do we need to filter down, that sort of thing. We'll just take who comes. So in this case, we didn't ask questions up front. We just had to manually filter through everyone and essentially answer our own questions.
So you had to research every single person because the questions were very light.
Yeah, because some agencies will ask, oh, what is the maximum viewers you've ever had on Twitch, or, how many subscribers do you have? We didn't ask any of that up front. We just had to go look through everyone and see what they have to give us.
Yeah, and I guess contrary to that, the VTuber applications for agencies will typically have multiple pages of this is this question. We need to know, like to Oz's point, like how many concurrent viewers do you have? What's your viewership? When did you start? How long have you been doing this? Have you rebranded? I don't know if they asked a rebranded question, but
Oh
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
very specific questions because it's easy to weed out people based on certain answers. And in the normal day-to-day hiring world, that's true as well. And since this is a job, they have certain questions that have way more weight to them than other ones do.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that like some of these agencies, when they ask the questions like, how many subscribers do you have, are just immediately going under X amount, just don't even look.
Yep.
Um,
Probably. Like you can do that with like spreadsheets. Like you can put all of those in a spreadsheet
oh
and
yeah.
add a filter and say anything under like 500, I don't even want to see it. So it's super easy to cut you out with something like that. A number is an easy one to get rid of you.
Yeah, in my case, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to actually just look at everyone that applied because sometimes there are small hidden talents that you want to be like, I want that person. Even if it's not a good idea, it's like, I want that person.
Wait a minute. If it's not a good idea, why do you want the person?
Business wise, it's like
Like
making smart
you
business
wouldn't
decisions, that
gain.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
this person has like 10 followers versus the other one that has 10,000. So while I like them and they have potential, I don't gain a lot, but I think they're going somewhere. That's kind of what you mean.
right. And there's, oh, I guess if we get into like the business part of it, uh, there are business needs for these agencies. Like, if they're going to hire someone, if someone who has a proven track record applies versus like if I don't have a proven track record and then I apply, they're going to take the person with the proven track record most of the time, unless they look at me and be like, "Oh, she's perfect. She's just as deranged and as much of a hag as the rest of them."
Oh, God. Calling yourself out there.
I'm old. It's understandable.
But like,
Yeah.
but like, I'm trying to think of what I was going to say now. My brain started laughing along with my mouth.
Is just your brain controlled by your mouth?
I don't know. The jury's out on what controls my brain. It's too chaotic. The data is way too volatile to find any kind of answers. Usually, I would guess caffeine because I have had a coffee and an energy drink so far today.
I am only drinking this Fanta Mellow Yellow, which is a Japan only thing.
I must try that next time I'm over.
It tastes like Fanta. Mellow Yellow. Sorry, it tastes like Mellow Yellow. It's just like bottled by Fanta. That's all. That's the difference.
That's okay. Well, then I guess I've had
Yeah.
that. But like
Yeah.
yeah, I think I might remember what it was that I was wanting to talk about because like I'm trying to think the right way to word it without sounding too crass, but you can't fake the numbers. Like if you go, oh well, I don't think I have what they want, but I think I'm super close. I think I can get there, and you're confident in yourself, which is not a bad thing. And you're putting on the application that, oh yeah, I have 500 concurrent viewers, but maybe you're at 200, but you can get there. It's a matter of time, right? But currently you're
Yeah.
not. So if you're
Don't lie.
exactly, if you're fudging the truth, that might bypass like the Excel example that I gave, to where I could literally just filter and cut out anybody under a certain number in whatever field, but they don't just trust you. Like as as that sounds, you can't trust somebody who's applying because, like I said, I've done the application process on my side, I've done the hiring, I've done the firing, and we look through those. Like there is applications. Oh God, what was it called? It's applicant something software. I forget what it is. I kind of want to call it applicant sorting software, aka ASS. But I know that's not it. But I'm going to call it
ASS now.
It's ASS
It's
now.
the
It's
applicant
canon.
sorting software.
Yes, there you go. But yeah, like sure, you might make the first list, the short list, but they're going to validate that because they don't want somebody who is, prone to stretching the truth. I'll say it that way. So they will go to your socials. They will validate that you have the claims, rather that you actually are claiming the correct information. So you can't lie your way through this, somebody's going to check because there's a lot on the line for this company. If they are going to give you a whole model and assets and a manager,
Like
that's a lot of
10K
investment in you.
plus.
Exactly. And their brand is on the line if they hire somebody, and it's extremely public. It's not like, like McDonald's or, Target or whatever, that if they hire one meh person, yeah, not too big of a deal. But with a small group of VTubers in a company that are always public, any rogue character in there is going to cause a stink.
Yeah, and actually that was my marketing manager that helps me out with the marketing. When I was like, hey, I want like to select from like this group of like 20 finalists, and I really like these ones here. And he's like, how will these ones help the company? He's like, yeah, how will they make the company grow? And I'm like, well, I like them. That was my answer. I'm like, I like them. And he's like, no, you need to look at the numbers. You got to tell me why they will help the company grow. And I'm like, okay, yes, sir.
Oh, dang, you got a very good person on that side. It's like keeping you honest.
Yeah, he understands like the marketing and the business part where I'm like, I want to make a microphone. And he understands how to look at people and content creators and understand how they will help be a partner with the company. And in the case of VTuber agencies, how would they present themselves to the public?
And that makes sense because that's exactly what like a VTuber agency needs as well. Is somebody that's going to represent them well. Like with you, you're giving them your microphone. It's going to be very visible. They're going to tweet about it and talk about it. They might even use like a model of it on screen. So people are going to know that that's the microphone. And if they're just an absolute unhinged person that is just easily cancelable because of their behaviors, then that's going to kind of leach back to you. And we've seen that multiple times with multiple different things. Like a bad VTuber in this corporation gets outed and, they get a lot of crap for a while and people boycott them or whatever. So there's a lot at stake.
Oh yeah, and that's also another like kind of like a rejection reason. Excuse me, I'm going to burp right now. So that's like
Cutting that
another
out.
rejection. Yeah. That's like another prime rejection reason. If we go to your social media and we see that you frequently engage in drama, whether it just be commenting or like retweeting it, that sort of thing, like that's going to be the kryptonite for like not wanting you as part of a company or a partnership, because now you're inviting drama not just to yourself, but to a company that you're joining.
Yep. And if it comes down to, say, like the last 10 people, and they've only got like, say, 5 interview spots, they are going to go through everything with a fine tooth comb at that point. If you tweeted like 2 years ago about something, that's going to be found out. It's going to be weighted against everybody else. And, did they learn from this? Did they not? Like, it might bring up the thought of, well, maybe they could slide back. Maybe they're doing this kind of thing in secret now, but they learned not to tweet about it. Or so you will be combed over completely. I just imagined like a Japanese businessman with a comb over.
Oh God, it's like a comb over sama. He just goes over through everything. Comb over. Yeah, and like, well, we're not going to necessarily go back like 5 years to try and find that one bad post, because people make mistakes and they learn and grow from them. I think that's okay. But if we look through like your past 3 months or past 6 months and we see stuff, there's hundreds or thousands of applicants. That's just a negative mark. So, you have to be careful what you do on social media and how you interact.
Oh, I think we've kind of like got a little rambly, so I'll bring us back a bit
Yes.
on schedule here. For the application itself, like sure, the numbers are something that can easily weed you out, and definitely don't lie on them. But a lot of them want an intro video of some sort, like usually like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something very short, and it's like an elevator pitch of who you are, what you do, what you would bring, etc. And they will watch this first. if you pass all the numbers and the filtering and sorting and that ass system that I kind of made up, they are going to look at your video and see a lot of things. It could be your personality, how you come off. Are you forcing it? Or do you seem very natural? And like, there's so many things that they can get just by watching a video. And if they like the video, they're going to go to, like with me, it would be like my YouTube channel, it would be my Twitch and things like that to see. Well, yeah, wonderful. She made a video that seems pretty good, seems promising, but is this their normal? And they'll start to look at my other videos as a result of that. So the video is very, very important.
Yeah, and it's something like the first 10 seconds of video, if you don't grab them in that first 10 seconds, and then the next 20 seconds after that, basically 10 seconds and 30 seconds, at those markers, if you're not grabbing and keeping their attention, they're just going to close the video.
Yep. It's basic like YouTube rules as well there because it's a video, right? People have to stay and want to say, and they're going to be a lot more discerning because they're there for a reason and they've got a lot of applicants to go through. So they're going to just have
Exactly.
a hard cutoff at the like the 10, the 30, the whatever second mark. So you have to maintain it. And
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to be like, yo, hello, I'm big, popular VTuber, like all loud and stuff. It's just you have to create intrigue in those first 10 seconds.
Yep. It is very much like an elevator pitch, if you've ever heard about that in like job interviews. If in theory, let's say you're with the CEO trapped in an elevator and they're going up to like the 10th floor and you only have so many seconds or minutes to talk to them, to pitch an idea to them or ask them to hire you or something like that. How do you condense what an amazing VTuber you are into that video time and give them all the highlights and really psych them up and want them, rather make them to want to look into you more? Like, how do you do that?
Like if I was applying for to be like, oh, I'm gonna be a music VTuber in a big agency or something, I would be like, all right, that first 10 seconds, I'm having like a camera shot of me like playing the piano or another instrument, like something that physically shows that I'm doing the thing that I'm applying for.
Yep. And don't use clips. Like I've heard that if you're just grabbing a clip from one of your streams and just making a clip show, that's super boring. Like maybe a
Oh,
little bit
definitely.
towards the end or something like that to show like, hey, actually, like I'm an FPS player and I made this really cool trick shot and my chat loved it, or like some kind of situational thing that would help better show. I keep putting my hand in front of the camera. It keeps losing me because I'm very, very hands-on gesturing. But if it helps your case, sure, but don't make your entire video a clip show. That just gets dull. And that's easy click away. Yes, next.
I am 100% guilty of that. So
I'm
this
sorry.
is definitely this definitely I have never applied to any agencies
No,
for
no.
legal reasons. So I definitely don't have a bunch of videos where I've had like a solid 3-minute idea and then I filled the final 2 minutes with clips. Don't do that. Just if they want a 5-minute, an up to 5-minute video and you have a solid 3-minute idea, do the 3-minute idea and then leave the rest of it out. Don't just throw clips to pad the time.
Yep. Like actually have something scripted. Like if I was to, and legal reasons, I have never. If I was to do
Exactly.
it, I would like have some kind of script. Like how can I pack it with as much about me, why I'm a great fit, why they should pick me, and keep it entertaining the whole time? How would I do that? And that's really the difficult thing to solve because if I go into an interview, I'm also going to struggle with that because I don't know what these particular people want to see, don't want. So there's a lot of guesswork in it. But if you read the questions, and especially if you keep tabs like I do on application to application and see what has been added, what has been changed, what's been reworded, then you can kind of tell what it is that they're trying to emphasize for this particular round.
Oh yeah, definitely. And sometimes like the requirements they put in the oh, here's what we want in the video and such are kind of vague. They're sort of like leaving it open-ended. And I seen a lot of like things out there for the video portion where they're like, that those talent agencies were like, oh, we want like a 5-minute in character introduction that talks about the character you've created. But then you see the actual talents that have passed the audition and have debuted. They're like, yeah, so I talked about coffee for 5 minutes. And it's like, what? That wasn't in the rules.
Right?
Huh? Yeah.
So the test was, can you break the rules?
Yeah, so whatever they did, maybe they did it in character as a character for 5 minutes or something, or even a few minutes. Whatever they did was unique enough that it caught their attention and was like, you know what? We should look at this person.
Yep. I'll move to the next spot. So the numbers aren't the only thing that's going to count you out, because they're not just going to do a quick sort and just leave it at that and be like, yep, we sorted on like 500 concurrent viewers or whatever the number they want is, and then just make that their short list. They're going to go through that even further, because whatever that number is, I'm sure they've still got a long list. So they're going to look at your text answers, and there's going to be certain ones that are weighted higher than the others. So if you give something like just kind of wishy-washy and vague and think that they're just simply about the numbers, and you just basically fill the box to fill the box, that's going to get you counted out. Because if you don't show that you are dedicated, that you really want this, that you've thought about this, that you have a purpose and a goal and like an actual plan in mind, that is going to cut you out super fast as well.
Yeah. I think a good example of that is Hoshimashi Suisei. Obviously, I don't know what she put on her application to get into Hall Live, but she's like, I want to perform at, this one, historical theater.
Like Carnegie
in
Hall, I
Tokyo.
assume? Oh, no. Okay, never mind.
It's the Butsudan. Butsudan.
I think I know which one you mean. That I seen it in an anime that like if you get there, you've made it, kind of a thought.
Yeah. Oh no, wait. Is it? What is that? The National Theater. Don't you hate it when you forget?
Budokan. Lamp
Yeah,
Devil is saying
Budokan.
Budokan.
It's the Budokan. Okay. I'll start over on that. So I don't know what Hoshimashi Suisei actually put on her application to get into Hall Live, but she was very clear is that she wanted to perform at the Budokan because that is like you have made it moment. Like that was a career goal. She is a singer. She wants to perform there because then she's made it, right? So if you are going into an application as a musical, talent person, it's a weird way to say that.
Musical talent person.
Yes, musical talent person. And you're like, yes, I have a goal of performing at this very unique theater that is special to everyone in the industry. That's a good thing to say, to like see on there. But if you're like, yeah, I want to sell merch of my brand and I want to put out like an album maybe, do the music stuff and all the auxiliary things, they're going to be like, so what do you actually want to achieve?
Yep. It just sounds like you want to make money at that point and just literally see like plushies of your character. And it's like, okay, you could do that without us.
Well, I want to see plushies of characters.
Yeah.
Oh God, they've got us with the plushies. I prefer Katsudan. Are you also talking in chat at the same time?
I am. I don't want to interrupt you when you're talking, so I'm typing in chat.
Oh, yeah. You know what? If I saw an application come in that says, yeah, so I want to join your agency and my ultimate goal is to enjoy a Katsudan, they're going to the next stage.
They'll probably stop for a minute to go, what the fuck? And then they'll go on. Like, what's wrong with this person? This got to be a joke application. And they'll just like, oh, that's another thought to bring up, blacklisting. I'm sure it technically doesn't exist. And if I could do air quotes, I would. But your name will become kind of repetitive and familiar if you apply a lot and you're doing like dumb things like that, putting in like, oh, I want to, be able to afford a bowl of Katsudon every day. Like, they're not going to even want to look at yours. So they might even filter on certain keywords like your handle. So make sure your applications are always serious applications. Because you never know when, like, you're joking, like, wait, I should actually take this serious, but you've already shot yourself in the foot. It's that whole cry wolf thing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I will also add on to that, some agencies are known for not accepting applications on the first try. They're basically like, you need to apply twice, just because.
What?
I won't mention the applications or sorry, the agencies where I've seen this because that's speculation and they obviously don't publish this information. But there's a couple agencies where every applicant's like, yeah, I had to apply at least 2 or 3 times before they even considered me. So it's one of those things where it seems like some agencies are like, if you really want in, like, we want to see that you're dedicated to this company.
That makes sense because a lot of people just like throw them around and they think that's how they get popular. Like, oh, if I was only accepted, oh, everybody would realize how amazing I am, and that's the bar of, that rather the wall in front of me is that I'm not corpo yet. There are so many indies that have just absolutely rocked it that you don't necessarily need the corporation to do that. But I think a lot of I wish I had some data to back this up so I feel more confident in saying it. But I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people just apply to apply because like I want to make money. I want to sit here and do this as a career. Why don't I apply to every single one that like ever opens up applications? And so there's probably a filter against that as well. If you just half-heartedly apply all the time, you just get
And
filtered out.
also, like, just being able to see, like, hey, this applicant applied 3 months or 6 months ago, and their new audition is so much better than their old one. You can see that they've improved. And at that point, it's like, you know what? They might be a good fit. And then you can actually look at their application because you can tell that they're dedicated to getting better.
Yep. I think overall, I mean, like, oh, actually, hold on. I'll keep my overall to the end because there's a summation part.
Overall.
Oh,
Oh, don't worry.
overall,
I also have a list of rejected reasons that we have to go through.
yes, yes. Oh, the next part is like your socials. And I'm very guilty of this. My socials have been like dead for the longest time because I'm like focusing my efforts and energy elsewhere. I need to fix that, and I've started trying to fix that recently. Not that I'm going to try and apply, but it's good to do so because people have to find you somewhere. But hypothetically, if I apply with my socials being dead, and I said everything legitimately. Like I'm not faking it. I'm not making up numbers. And for some reason they thought, hey, you know what? Pandora seems like a decent match, maybe works. Goes to my socials and I've got many of them, but I'm not doing anything. It's kind of a requirement, I think, to be able to manage your socials because I don't know a famous VTuber who is not just chronically online, for lack of better words.
Yeah. And I think another part to kind of roll into that, if your socials are dead, and I hope this loads. Come on. Is it loaded on your end?
I don't know what you're trying to load. Hold on. Oh God,
It's
yeah, Mega Mind.
no content. Um, so if you don't have content on your, oh, is it stuck to me? Oh no, it's stuck to me. Oh no,
Mega Mind is on your booba.
no, no, get off. Go in the trash. I'll put you behind Pandora.
Oh God, he's nibbling my cake.
He's right on those tails. No content on your socials or even your YouTube or Twitch or TikTok or whatever. So many applications that I got had zero content, or it was very clear by like Twitter they were streaming, but like they have forgotten to publish VODs on Twitch. So it's like I can't see any of your content. How can I verify everything you've told me if I can't see any of it? And that goes both for socials and also where you put your videos up.
And you did have a question in chat. What is your lure, pretty girl with the wings?
Do you want the 5 minute long version or do you want the condensed version?
Condensed, please, says my future editing self.
Okay, so my mom is an elf. My dad is also an elf, but he was in owlbear form, and then my mom and my father, they went,
Oh
and
God.
then there you go. Now you have owl elf.
I
That's
think
the
I have a
lore.
I think I have a sound for this. Hold on.
Uh,
Why I can't play any of the sounds? I guess I didn't buy a high enough tier of nitro.
I guess the best way to put this is,
Oh no, there it is.
oh, you have the sound?
No! No! I have to buy the highest tier of nitro. God dang it. Oh well. Pretend that you're on a site that has a yellow logo and it is known for racy things, and just imagine that boom 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 at the beginning.
Oh, yeah. And I did not come from an egg. I came from a womb, which is like an egg, but it's just like made of human. It's a human egg with a head attached that has a person.
We're getting into some uncomfortable territory.
Yeah, I guess in like this realm's terms, I'm like a holy druid, like one part druid, one part like holy. Uh, I can manipulate blood and the skin and the flesh, and like I can just make you have your blood explode out of you if I want. There, I have a whole lore document I've written for this. I don't. This is not the time for it.
Oh. Yeah, we both have very like long, drawn out, complex lore.
Yes, I was teleported to this world, and then I met a fox,
Yes.
and she's been stinky this whole time.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to be in your lore?
Well, no, I mean, I don't think you came from my world, did you?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm in this one. My previous
Okay.
self did come from a different world, but not this one.
Yeah. I mean, I teleported here, and then I met you a long time ago, and yeah, I've been here a while. Now I'm a weeb. Uh,
You're getting like lore questions now.
have you adapted to being in this plane? Have you found anyone else? Yes, there's a fox here. I found other people, not necessarily from my place that I know of. Oh yeah,
I
can you
kind of
fly, Pandora?
I kind of want to make an animated gif of that because it
Yeah,
just makes so much sense, right? A fox, two tails, tails, Miles tails. Yes, I want to make that happen.
yeah. Look, all you have to do is, just spread your tails like this and then flap.
God,
Right?
spread your tails out of context sounds horrible.
It's fine.
Turn around, face the wall, and spread your tails.
Oh, so that's where the snacks are.
That's where Megamind is currently.
Oh, he's just back there snacking.
Yes,
Mm.
I'll just birth a blue baby bald egg.
Oh, where were we?
We are so off, so off. I
Uh,
know availability is also a key thing because they want you to be able to at least like 3 times a week be able to stream, make other content, and things like that. So if you're not able to have any kind of consistency, I don't know if it's necessarily asked on the forums, but if it's not, it will be asked in an interview because they need to know
oh,
this.
yeah. Like,
And
how
the
many
best,
times per week do you stream?
yep. Like if they looked at me now, if I had just recently applied, they'd be like, "Well, she just started streaming on Tuesdays, and that's it. That's not really showing us the consistency that we're looking for." Even though she says she can do it, saying it and doing it's two different things. So we need to actually see this. So that's where investigating your socials and your Twitch and your YouTube and Kick or wherever else you're streaming comes in, is they're going to validate that. If they have a question whether or not you can do consistency, you need to have shown that consistency over many months to be able to really, get that point driven
Yeah,
home.
yeah. And like I could be like, here's the proof that I streamed consistently for like 4 times a week a few years ago. But that's not really like recent. They're like, oh, why aren't you doing it recently? Are you burned out? Do you just not want to do it anymore? Like, you still have to be able to show recent, content and consistency.
Chat says, "Did you realize that foxes eat owls?"
Yeah, but not when the owl is so much bigger.
That's just more to eat.
No, no, no. Oh no, she's going for the booba.
That's the bounciest part, the softest meat.
It's like mochi.
Oh, that's my dog's name,
Wait, what's your dog's name?
Mochi.
Oh, don't eat the dog.
No, she's too hairy and she's small. She's
Oh,
like,
so you only eat large dogs?
well, she wouldn't be worth it. It'd be like eating was that a game hen, like the really small birds. She's a
Oh, just
tiny
like one,
dog.
just one, done.
Yeah, yeah. She would just be like an anorexic chicken you'd buy from Costco.
Oh no. Uh,
What the dog doing? Yeah, in the oven.
what the dog doing is things.
Getting in my belly.
So should we like go over a list of like reasons for rejection?
Yes, the red flags part.
Ah, yes, the red flags. Well, I already said about no content, right?
Yep, yep. But this is just an application itself. Like if we're looking through what would just be a nope other than like the things we've already talked about. Like if you don't even have a video, the video is like they ask for 3 minutes and you've given like 30 seconds or like 20 minutes or something like that's going to be an instant no thank you because you can't follow directions.
Yeah. I know one thing that was an instant rejection for me is if I opened your YouTube channel and all the thumbnails were AI generated, I just closed the channel because it's incredibly obvious and it looks a little bit lazy and it also just looks unprofessional. Like it just screams, I don't want to take the time to like develop my brand and how my YouTube channel and my thumbnails look because I look at one of your thumbnails, Pandora, and I immediately know it's one of your videos.
Yes, I have developed a style.
Yeah, like if you don't have a style, a personality to your content, it just all looks AI generated, instant rejection.
Yeah, and even if it was a nice AI thumbnail and you somehow made AI do nice things or consistent things, it's still AI. And it has a negative connotation right now that, there's a very divided audience. I made a video on that, which absolutely flopped because it's nothing like anything else I ever do, but I kind of wanted to talk about it. But is a very divisive topic. Either you love it, you're okay with it, or you absolutely hate it. And the potential hate is enough to be like, no, thank you. They do AI content. We can't really. Sorry, pass.
Yeah, and there's the other thing. If in the future, let's say I hire the person that is using AI generated thumbnails, like, oh, well, I'm going to write a script for my video that's AI generated, and they're not really producing something that is their personality or their content then. It's basically a red flag that says, yeah, I don't really know what to do. I just want to make stuff and throw it out there. We got to know you. What is your personality?
Yeah, you have to shine through no matter what. If you just seem absolutely dull from beginning to end, yeah, that's a snooze fest. They want somebody exciting, somebody different, somebody who's gonna draw attention and keep attention. If you're as bland as a ham sandwich, yeah, you just you're gonna go in the trash bin back there, set on fire with all the other applications.
Yeah, it's just like, pff. Here, let me fan those applications.
Gotta get that fire burning so we stay warm.
Got to stoke it. So another instant rejection. We got to be able to find your content. So this applies more, I think, to the process I used, is because I just said reply to this post on Twitter. There were so many applications where I took down their Twitter profile, their picture, and what they wrote in the reply. And then later when I went to click on their profile, like their card link or whatever was broken, or I would get to like their card page or whatever page they were using to group all their socials. And then they did not link to the correct YouTube channel or the right Twitch channel. All the links were broken. And I'm like, all of your like things that tell people where to go to get your stuff are broken. I can't find you. And when there's so many applications to go through, I don't have time to sit here and like go through terrible Google search to try and find who you are. Because I don't even know if I'm getting the right channel back.
Yeah, and there's a couple things that does. Is number one, like Oz said, it makes you hard to find. It makes them not want to waste the time because you've immediately cost them more time. Next application. The next thing that it does is it tells them that you do not have an attention to details, so you're more inclined to mess stuff up. So they don't want to invite that in any way, shape, or form. So you just got to be on top of your game. Just dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure everything is on point before you start applying because like we've been saying repeatedly, they're going to check you inside and out. It's going to be a thorough proctology exam. You better make sure that insides are clean.
Yeah. And also, the thing about it is, I guess in my case, imagine that I partner with someone and then, all right, here's the product. We need you to talk about it. And then the people who see you talking about the product can't even go to your channel to see the promotional video. At that point, all of my expenses into that person are lost because the people can't even find the promotional content.
And there was a question in chat, kind of in the same
Mm.
vein of what we're talking about. Is there a real difference between Twitter and Blue Sky for this particular instance? Not really, because whatever socials you're on are the socials that you're on. Like I'm on Blue Sky, Asiana is on Blue Sky. They will check those, but since it's a newer platform, like if I was doing the application weeding, I would be like, okay, it's newer. They're probably not going to have as much on there. But if you had a pretty similar following to Twitter, as others might, but on Blue Sky, that's also pretty impressive. So I'm sure they look at it, but they have a few caveats. But yeah, it's just another social platform at this point.
I think actually in this case, if I was going through the socials and someone's like, I only have Blue Sky, I'd be like, I mean, I really like your gumption to be like, I don't want to do anything with Twitter/X. Cool,
Right,
I got that.
based.
But yeah, totally based. Absolutely based. But unfortunately, the VTuber content creator sphere is on Twitter, on X.
Yep.
That's an unfortunate reality is. And so for like like actual VTuber agencies, that won't really matter because you're going under a new handle anyway, a new identity. So they're going to just set you up with accounts wherever you need to use them and tell them, and they'll tell you, here's the accounts you use. This is part of your contract. But for your current content, let's say I want to partner with someone that's indie. If your socials don't really have the reach because you've decided to, you know, cut yourself off from the rest of the world where everyone else is, that's unfortunately a negative mark. It's all kind of more in like the business decision side. It's like, uh, it's based that you want to cut out X from your life, but it doesn't help in terms of business.
Yeah, it's also could be seen at this point as like a political stand, and bringing
Yeah.
politics into something like this is a no go, because you might have your reasons, of course. I'm sure we all do if we don't want to be on X/Twitter/dumpster fire, in the background. But it also sends different signals. Even if you don't intend for that to send signals, having that kind of very hard line in the sand might also signal into one of my other points that I was going to bring up in a moment, that you might not be easy to manage. You might not be easy to work with. If you have these hard lines in the sand, it's kind of expected to be on Twitter, to be on Blue Sky, to be on TikTok, to be on like all these other social platforms, because that's where the volume of people are. If you're purposely like sawing your leg off to like for some kind of purpose, yeah, that's going to be a pass just for maybe unintentional, unrelated reasons, but it might send wrong signals.
Yeah, like for personal moral reasons, I would prefer not to be on Twitter/X. However, that would be a terrible idea for promotional purposes. But I have a soft line in the sand is like, I won't pay for the premium service. It's like, okay, I won't give the company money, but I'll still be on there for where the audience is
Yeah.
because I still have to get a little bit of promotion somehow.
And cross promoting is pretty easy, cross posting rather. If you post on Blue Sky, you post it on X, you post it on similar platforms. It's the same message, the same image, the same tweet, whatever. You just put it other places. Just don't think about it. Don't potentially politicize it. Don't try to make some kind of stand if you want to be in an industry that is all about social engagement. Oh God, you look like you're on a mission now. I seen the head roll back and then I hear the clicky clacky. You're like, ah shit, let me find this. I'm gonna throw up another Megamind meme and hide it in Pandora's ass.
No, it was the panda boob.
Oh no, what?
So it's better to be soft than it is to be hard.
Oh no,
Uh,
I missed that. I was not looking at chat for a moment. I snuck that one in.
I w- God. I will say that some things are so much better on Blue Sky because Twitter, they still penalize you if you put external links in your posts. Too many hashtags, penalized.
Yep.
If you at someone, that immediately penalizes the post.
Did not know that one. That's a good thing to know.
Yeah, that's the thing. If it's at the beginning, it counts as a kind of like a pseudo public DM.
Oh.
If it's in the middle, it's not kind of counted as a pseudo public DM, but since it's targeted to that person, it sort of limits its reach.
Interesting.
So, yeah, there's a lot of like hidden gotchas with Twitter that can prevent the spread of a post. And like the thing is like, okay, how many hashtags is it? Will certain hashtags cause it to be downranked? Et cetera, et cetera. It's like a game that I don't understand entirely.
They keep
And then
changing the
sometimes
rules.
yeah. Yeah, like I've had a post that should not have gone past like 10 views. But then someone with like, 500,000 followers clicked the like on it and it just went boot doot 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 doot. And like little things like that. Like Twitter's algorithm is like a weird game. But then there's Blue Sky, which is like a breath of fresh air. It's like, oh, put the link to your Twitch stream or your YouTube video directly in the first message and not in a reply. Go for it. You want 10 hashtags? It's going to look ugly, but we won't penalize you for it.
Yeah, so this is like slight alterations that I do between X and Blue Sky, which is just moving the link. It'll say link and replies on X, but then on Blue Sky, I just replace that with the actual link. That's the only changes I make, so it's an easy cross post.
Yeah, Blue Sky does not penalize you for sending people off site because that is a common thing of social media platforms. They want you to keep engagement on site so they can show you more advertisements.
Mm. Oh, my brain just remembered something that I was wanting to bring up is not everybody might know this, but you can buy likes, follows, subscriptions, things like that. There's plenty of, quote unquote companies that will sell that to you. And it's extremely obvious. You can't see that. You can't tell. It's like, oh, look, I have 500 followers. Yay. Now they'll take me. It's extremely obvious because, as an example, if you claim to have a high concurrent viewer count or a follower count or sub count, whatever the count, I can go in and I can see, like, when did those happen? How many, where are they at, potentially with certain like additional programs, but I can also check your audience. Like if you are live streaming, which the majority of VTubers do, well, you've got like 1,000, followers on Twitter, right? How come you got like 2 people in chat like all the time? Why are these people like following you when they don't even watch you? That's a huge sign of you bought the numbers. And that is a great way to get yourself just on a blacklist if one exists. You can't rig the game. Don't even try.
Yeah, and like things like botted viewers.
Yep.
You can pay services to bot viewers on Twitch. The thing is though, because all of the names in the chat, basically the live viewer names on Twitch are visible to public, they can oh, you have 100 live people. They can pull down a list of all the users and skim through them. It's like, yeah, these all look like auto-generated names.
Yep. And even if
they don't look like users.
And even if they were believable names, like me being in the data world, I could, like, if that person's name is like Great Viewer 4, that's a fairly common name, right? But if I went to their actual user page, seeing who they were following. If they were following like an absolute ton of people or like one or two, that would tell me that, well, that might be a bot, because who follows that many people? And if I'm watching them and they like are only following one person, then the next time they're following one person, one person, it's showing that they're using some kind of like automation to pick that person and have that bot go in and watch for that person to go live or what have you. So there's certain little automation tricks that you can watch for things like that.
Yeah. And if you're thinking of doing the opposite and like botting like views on YouTube, whether it be on your videos or on your streams, while the like names of the people obviously getting those views or on the streams is not public, because YouTube doesn't publish that. YouTube has very good detection algorithms for view botting, and you will get banned on YouTube. That is like unquestionably, you will get banned on YouTube.
I'm
You're a
interacting with
bot.
chat. Yeah, because Aura said, me, I follow a ton of people. Like, you're a bot. I wanted to do like I wish I could do it, but the whole invasion of the body snatchers, where they point at the end and the guy just screams, just like,
You're a bottom.
Oh no.
Uh,
Oh
so,
boy. Oh,
so wait, if I say the word commission, will Aura just show up?
I am lost.
Huh? Oh, whenever you go on Twitter and you'll be like, "Hey, I'd like to commission some art," and then immediately there's like
Oh.
10 bot replies.
Gotcha. GFX bot joke. I
Yeah.
haven't seen those in a long time, knock on wood. I don't know what I did, but I kept
Well, speaking
like,
of knock
telling
on
them,
wood,
I'm
you
an
just
artist,
get the
I'm
porn
an
bot
artist, I'm
replies
an artist.
instead.
I don't even get those. Maybe it's because I don't even use the platform and I have no posts. Like, this person isn't active enough. Let's just not even bother.
Oh, or it's like commission.
I
See,
like mine.
mine. Wait, hold on. I
There you go. You need a redeem that does that, and like a billion of you just show up on the screen.
and to be clear, I'm not. It's not a pigeon. It's a dove.
Still a bird.
Caw!
And you're primarily white, and I think it would work for the meme. I thought of something evil that I read. I don't know if I should put that idea out into the world, but my brain kind of wants to. There was a Reddit thread that I was reading at one point. There was these two users on Reddit warring back and forth. One got the other banned off of a subreddit. So to get him back, what he did is he paid for upvotes for the other guy. And that got him banned, like from like Reddit, period, because of that. That is a horrible strategy, but I'm like, oh my God, that is like level like 1,000 IQ move right there. Don't buy them for yourself, buy them for the competition.
Oh yeah, and that's like one of those things where I know a couple streamers. I shouldn't mention them by name, but one, he went from like 10, 20 viewers to suddenly having like 100 plus viewers on Twitch, and he's like, "What is going on? I don't know what's happening right now." He contacted Twitch and was like, "Hey, I do not have 100 viewers. Like, there's not any fraction of the amount actually talking in chat." And they basically replied to him as like, "Hey, thank you for reaching out."
You're banned?
I said him. That kind of gives it away.
That's like roughly a quarter of the population.
Yeah. So they reached back out to him and were like, "Hey, thank you for, letting us know that something's going on with your channel. We'll keep it noted on your file. It's most likely that you're being, botted right now. Don't worry about it. You've let us know. So if you do run into a situation like on Twitch, if someone else decides to view bot you, which if Twitch does figure it out, they will, take action on your account. I've seen it happen before where people have bought view bots for other people. Some people doing it because like, oh, I want my Oshi to have more views and make them feel better or something.
Oh.
You don't do that. That we will figure it out that something's wrong, and we'll feel worse.
Yeah,
Um,
you mean to help, but you're actually hurting.
yeah. So Twitch was like, "Hey, don't worry about it. We know what's going on. It'll go away on its own eventually." So it was one of those things where you can do it to other people, and if you do have it happen to yourself as a content creator, especially with Twitch, you should let them know, "Hey, something's going on with this, and I don't know how to get rid of it." There's lots of tools like Seribot and some other things that can help sort of block it, but I think that's outside of the realm of this conversation.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of took us on a tangent there.
Yeah.
At least
Also,
my
why am I
my
so good at?
idea.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I say, why am I so good at making bird noises? I mean, maybe because I'm a bird.
I was gonna say practice.
Ah!
It's like how you get to Carnegie Hall or Budokan.
Ah!
Practice, practice.
Always practice every day. When you want to be a bird, practice being a bird. Uh, I do have more rejection reasons,
Yeah, go for
I
it.
think.
You think
Uh,
you got more rejection reasons?
yeah, I'm rejecting you right now. Nah,
No.
no, bye, bye. Um, I think another one, we touched on this near the beginning. How can she use glasses if birds don't see? God damn it. I can see my glasses. I need them to see the glasses.
Plot hole found.
She's, they got me there. I don't know what glasses you're talking about.
Had me in the first half, not gonna lie. I never thought of that. It's the human
Anyway.
part of you that has the bad side, not the bird part.
Yeah, I like my left eye hallucinates. I can't see things. She goes for a tan and rolls her. Oh my! Why am I being clowned on now?
Yeah, like you're like seriously getting clowned on right now.
Why? Why are they clowning on me?
Go to
On
Costco,
me?
jump behind the meat counter, hop into the rotisserie machine.
Uh,
Can you
Yeah,
tell I
I'll
have a
get-
Costco membership? I've mentioned them twice tonight.
I want to get a Costco membership and a car so I can go to the local one.
I wanted to go like while I was there last just to see what a Japan Costco looks like, but like we've got Costco at home, like the meme goes.
Exactly. As I understand, Costco here looks a lot like in the US, but with Japan items.
I would think I would find that interesting.
Yeah. So another like rejection reason, brand risk. We touched on this in the beginning, but drama llamas. If
Oh,
your whole brand, yeah, if your whole brand is being drama, like we can't work with that. That's not a good look for the company. It's a brand risk, and most companies will just be like, "We don't want to work with you." Like it's something that even though I like would love to weigh in on like all the recent drama, I don't even really respond and comment on it because if I don't know that person personally in a way or have worked with them, then it's just me trying to like, kind of karma farm or
yeah,
clout
ride
farm.
that hype train.
Yeah. And if I look at your social media and see you just being like, trying to crowd in on the drama so you get a little bit of like, perception from it, it's going to look disingenuous. It's going to look dishonest. And those things are kind of reflect negatively. Like, I'm not going to penalize anyone for replying to someone being wronged in some drama and being like, that sucks. Sorry that you had to go through that. No, but like, I've seen people that would be like, oh, I'm going to release my own statement about this thing and I'm not even involved. And it's like, what are you doing? You're not even part of this.
And like I did a little bit of that at the beginning with YouTube videos, but I realized pretty quickly that like after I really started to hate watching those, that I knew why people were like, "Oh, this new recent situation with so and so and so and so." It's like it was just farming. It's really all it was because like, "Hey, I want more like YouTube followers and subscribers." And yeah, the easy way is to just be an absolute drama farmer and just comment on it. Not to say that there's not some genuine commentary to be made on that because you could break it down. You could, like kind of come at it with like an intellectual breakdown of it. Like, why did this happen? How did this go? Why, like whatever you might like intellectually approach it with, because I don't do the dramas. I don't know how to exactly word that. But if you took like a
Right.
psychological approach or something like that, maybe. But if you're just like, oh no, this VTuber and that manager, ooh, they did things, and are you really
Ooh,
adding
they
to the conversation? You're just farming.
they had sexy times, and now we get to hear about it.
I really wish I had a soundboard now. I could use that again.
Just
Wow, chickie, wow, wow.
I don't. My sound effects don't come through, unfortunately. Uh, uh, I have a few other topics on the syllabus.
The
Let's see, the
syllabus.
syllabus. Yes. That I named abject reality, how final selections were made, and actually making contacting contracts.
Yeah, that kind of aligns with what I called how to cut the list.
Yes. Um, abject reality, business needs, the unfun parts. I hate this.
Yeah.
So, as I said before, I have someone who's helping with the marketing and the business decisions because I like to make microphones and I'm good at that, but promoting them, I am not. So, the end of the day is if I am going to be, giving you several $100s of product plus sponsorship and like an affiliate agreement, that has to pay off for the business somehow. So realistically, when it comes down to it, that final application pool has to be able to give the business some sort of return. To put it in perspective, I'm very small in terms of company size. So when I was looking for all these applications, like, all right, I'm making an over $5,000 US dollar investment into all of this, including
Wow.
all the product I'm sending out, development costs, that sort of thing. Somehow I have to make this back in business terms. So if it comes down to the final 20 or the final 10 and I only have 5 slots, then I have to figure out in those final 5 slots who will be the best fit, who will help me to get a reasonable return. Not necessarily the best return, but give me a good return on the partnership. And that really sucks because I want to support as many small creators as I can because I am a small creator and I have been in that hole, in that rut where I'm like, I cannot get out. And I just want a little help, right? Just a little bit of help. But because I'm starting out small as a business, if I only choose small creators, I will stay small. So when it comes to the partnerships, go big or go home. It sounds terrible, but yeah.
And bigger isn't necessarily better either because they could be the biggest person on the world as far as like all the numbers that you would want to have in that kind of a partnership, but they might be the biggest a-hole as well. So do you want to partner with them?
Yeah.
No, not really. So there's it's the same with like the VTuber applications is that like sure this person might have a lot of numbers behind them, but do they fit with our company? Do they fit with our vibe, the aesthetic that maybe this wave goes for, or our company as a whole, or do we think again with their particular vibe that they put out that they would work well with management? Would they be potentially combative? Would they be easy to work with, or what have you? So there's a lot that can be gathered in that particular kind of a deep dive. And I want to
Oh
address
yeah.
something real fast before I move on.
Okay.
Panda Bubba said VTuber's greatest enemy. Any type of math for me, it's words. Any type of math, especially business math. I do that for a living, actually.
Yes.
So I am an exception.
Uh.
I, I am. Oh, I gotta toggle. I gotta toggle for this. There we go. I am businessman. I do business math.
Uh.
It probably
Hello, my
takes a
name
bit for
is.
you to
Oh.
load it. I
Yeah.
had
It
this for a
looks.
video and I left it in because it was funny.
Oh, that's great. So.
Businessman.
Uh. So. Yeah. When it comes to the business needs, what you said about the the whole thing of just because they have big numbers doesn't mean they're necessarily the right fit. That was absolutely true. There were a few that I saw. They were like, "Oh, I have big number," and I'm like, "That's great, but you only stream like ASMR like once a month. Like in terms of business fit, cool. You do ASMR, but that's not really what we're looking for right now. Maybe later." Like in terms of what you said, like per wave. Like the first wave that I wanted for my partnership program was, oh, hey, these people need to do ASMR. They need to it needs to come out of every pore of their body.
Yeah, primary content, because if the people that are going to them are there for the ASMR, they might want to do ASMR themselves, so they would want to buy, more than likely, the same microphone being used by their Oshi, or the person that they're viewing, depending on if they're a VTuber or not. So a once a month, once a week kind of thing, maybe not. The frequency for that particular audience just isn't there.
Yeah, and I think the same thing is going back to my whole singer musician thing applying to agencies. If you apply to an agency that deals like mainly in like we're just an FPS competitive agency and like, "Hi, I sing." And they're going to be like, "That's cute. How's your FPS skills? Like you don't fit for this generation."
Yep, exactly. Like usually if it's something like that, if they want a singing way, they're very specific about that, because they don't want to sort through all these applications that just don't align with what they want. So they'll be pretty straightforward with it. So if it's not mentioned, if there's like a specific theme for the wave, it's they're probably looking for a ragtag bunch of people that have just various skills, and they might have like, let's say it's five particular models that they have
Hmm.
on their side. They have a rough idea as to what they want those models to be responsible for content wise. Like, we've made this one with musical notes in mind, so we kind of want this one to be musical. This one is kind of rough and tough. They should be an FPS gamer or what have you. So they might have something like that in mind, but not specifically going to say it, because it's not all of them. All five are music, all five are FPS, all five are hand cam streamers or what have you. So if they have an absolute theme for the wave, they're going to say it because it cuts down on their work.
Yeah, and my brain broke.
I broke the brain. Burp brain go broke.
Oh no, my thought completely went out of my head. It's gone. I don't know
I
where
just
where it
envisioned
went.
I just envisioned your brain like a little white egg that cracks, and a little chirping like little bird pops out, little like chick, like beep 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 beep. And I put my
Just
hands in
like
front of the camera, and you didn't see me go beep
it's
beep.
like
That's exactly how I envisioned it. And then just see drool coming out of one side, and then that little X-ray on the forehead of the chicken popping out of the little egg.
What topic were we talking about again?
Oh, the Burb Brain Factory Reset Orifice.
Oh no, it was uh
The
the fit in the
waves.
wave.
Yeah.
Yes.
The fit for the project basically is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I forgot. I think we covered it though.
I think we pretty well covered it. I mean, we could muse upon the subject in various different ways, but I don't think we would necessarily add too much to that conversation.
So, you want to know how I made the final selections for in my case?
Yeah, like definitely not darts at a board. I'm sure you had some kind of strategy behind it.
Funny you say that.
Oh shit, was that your actual process? Darts at a board?
So I got down to like the final 20 people, right? Like, I'm like, damn, all these people are really good. So I went to wheelofnames.com.
Wheel of morality, turn, turn, turn. Show us the lesson that we should learn.
Exactly. So obviously, I'm pretty sure, VTuber agencies would not use this method, or maybe they would if they were crazy.
Yeah, flip a coin.
But in my case, I'm like, I have like 10 to 20 people that are like, these people are excellent. I want all of them, but I only have 5 slots, which was later became 6 for a reason. But Yeah, I just threw them all in Wheel of Names and went, wee, and just picked 5.
And
So that's, yeah.
you hurt my
Th- I,
foxy
th-
brain. There was
yeah.
no math involved in that. I would
Yeah,
have
no
been like
math.
tearing apart the stats.
Where
I
are my
would have had a
sweets?
formula created for the potential return based on viewership. Oh, thank you, PT. Thank you for the headbands.
Yeah, and I have like all these screenshots of like the Wheel of Names, like put in like Discord and everything. And I'm like, here's who I'm picking. Wheel of Names said so. Is this a good idea? No,
Well,
but
I mean, you
damn, did
had
it work?
20 good names and you couldn't make that final decision. So, in seemingly, they were pretty comparable. So, making that 5 choice would have been like splitting hairs. So, therefore, you threw it up to the Wheel of Fortune.
Honestly, if I had given the final list of like 10 to 20 to my marketing manager, he probably could have gone through and be like, all right, here's the 5 that I think are perfect. But I was like, I think it's sometimes better left up to chance. And as I said, VTuber agencies, they're not going to leave it up to chance. They're going to
Mm-mm.
figure out who are the 5 they really want from that selection.
Absolutely. They don't have the heart of the burb and won't give that small creator the chance. Even if they think that you have some kind of spark in you, you're an unknown. They cannot have any kind of a safe bet on picking you because the way that I think about it, if I was that hiring manager and I'm looking through all these applications, I have made a short list or someone has given me a short list to review and get a second opinion on. Um, I want a safe bet. Just like with me and when I did hiring for the company that I work for, off off of VTubing, mind you, um, I have a certain skill set in mind. Each rec or like requisition for a talent has certain skills. And there's certain ways that we can vet for certain skills, which is all the stuff that we've been talking about, how they would vet for that thing. So
Mm-mm.
if someone is a small creator, that's not going to make the list because yeah, they might be up and coming, they might be promising, but they might also be at the start of their career, or maybe they're multiple years in and they're just now starting to climb, or now they're taking it seriously, or whatever the case might be. Me as the hiring manager, there's a lot of money on the line here. If I have a short list of 20 names in the VTuber world for a big company that's going to spend buku bucks on it, I'm gonna split hairs. I'm gonna comb over everything. Okay, here I go with comb over again. But I'm gonna look over everything, and I'm gonna be picking people that I believe that I can just pluck from where they are currently in their indie career, drop them into my company, and they would not need training. They might need like something brief to bring them up to code on what we do internally, what we do and don't say, guidelines to follow,
Legal
something
stuff.
like that. Legal stuff. They might have to sit down with a lawyer, sign some papers, of course. But as far as their talents and their abilities, I have no question that they can do it. That's the people that I'm picking, not somebody who's almost there or has a lot of heart or great ideas. It's not like that in the business world. I need to be able to pick you, plop you down, give you a quick orientation, and send you on your way, and know that you're going to just knock it out of the park and need minimal direction along the way, and be an easy person to work with. Because if you're all those things and a jerk, and you don't listen to me or anybody, you're not going to work here. So, yeah, literally, you're not going to work here. So, that's why we see some people,
And,
I think, exit pretty soon after they debut. Is like, well, shit. They're not good to work with. And it's hard to find that until you actually work with somebody if they're actually a good fit. I've seen that. I've hired people. I'm like, damn, they're not very good at what they do. They had a good application though, and they fooled us the whole way.
yeah, and I personally, I prefer like the Wheel of Names for the chance, even though I know it's not correct in terms of like really figuring out who is best, that kind of thing. All right, actual employment story. So, long time ago, like 10 years ago, I had to hire someone to essentially fill a position at the company I worked at. We had 2 finalists, and they were both very technically competent. They could both do the job, that sort of thing. Now the difference is one showed up in like a backwards baseball hat and like, kind of very casual dress, and the other one showed up in a business suit. And my intuition between the two was to pick the one with the backward baseball cap.
I thought this was
kind of
going
like
some other way.
kind of a coin flip. But one of the other managers in the office like, no, they're unprofessional. They did not show up, dressed nicely. The other person shows up in a suit, and I'm like, we are programmers. We're engineers. The person who showed up in the suit, that means nothing. Like, this is like one of the things where unconscious bias kind of comes in. I was like, all right, I think the person who dresses more like me is appropriate. And the person who was on the marketing management side was like, I want the person in the business suit.
Yeah,
Even though both of them both had the same amount of technical skills and both would probably be fine, right? So it was one of those things where unconscious bias can be got around by using random selection.
yeah, it's also
In the end,
potentially
it was,
generational because if that person was older,
yeah.
they probably had a traditional idea of you go to an interview in a suit, and that's what they're expecting, and then immediate disqualification for anybody who doesn't. So it could be I don't know the age of that person, but maybe that was it.
I think they were both similar ages, like in
Mm.
the same like age range.
Well, I meant like you
Uh,
and the other person that was saying they need to be in a suit. Like the other person trying to hire. If they were older, they probably had that bias.
but yeah, like biases can also be eliminated, I think, a little better in the content creation space because, like, for VTubers, like we put whatever we want on the screen. It's like here's what we look like. Deal with it. But when it comes to like the selection process, using a little bit of randomization, I don't think is necessarily the worst thing. I'm arguing for it
Yeah,
instead of trying to go complete hard on the numbers.
that's my side.
Because, yeah, because I think sometimes we form unconscious biases that can be just eliminated. If we're like, you know what, just throw the dice and see what happens.
Yeah, it's situational. Like for your situation, absolutely makes sense. But a company gonna invest all that money, they're gonna split the hairs. They want the most success possible because they get more money, their stakeholders get more money, et cetera, et cetera. So it's strictly business. There's no feeling in that.
I just noticed that they're talking about uh, titty ratio to neuron quantity.
What? D- it- in the chat? Which chat?
In the YouTube chat. There must be a formula for titty ratios is success, dividing
Oh,
for
shit.
cuteness and adding neuron quantity.
I will figure this formula out. I can
Uh,
get an Excel document together where you can just plug numbers in. 'Cause I did that for one of my videos to do your income calculation as a VTuber and streamer.
do a meme video where it's just that. Do it as a short or something.
Yeah, do it, do it as a short and like have glasses on and big old like calculator with like 10-point font on it.
Oh God.
Oh, that has a tape roll. It needs to have a tape roll.
Yeah, put your business suit on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. One step already accomplished. Hey, I'd like to interview
Hello.
for your engineering role. I have a suit.
You're hired.
Aha!
Automatic hiring. You have a suit.
Maybe that's what I need
Oh,
to do if I ever actually apply for a VTuber agency is wear the suit.
Oh, you took your suit off? I see booba. No, denied.
Denied. Oh no. That is a violation of our dress code. I see side booba.
Yeah, speaking of your fit, how does your fit stay together? Why is it not just going everywhere?
My
Is
fit?
this Foxy Magic?
What do you mean the
How
businessman
is
suit?
it? No, your actual like fit. How does the booba stay in? This is a very
Oh.
important question.
Well, it's gravity. Like if you put two things in a sling and they're attached at the back, it won't go places. I might have a wardrobe malfunction if I
They're
move
clinging
too
on for
much.
dear life.
They're specially trained booba.
Yes, they can grab and cling on.
They have a high grip strength.
I think I only have one last like subtopic for this discussion. Actually making the contact in the contracts. So this is where this really differs from actual VTuber agency applications because there is no like, multiple rounds of interviews for me or anything. There's no, figuring out kind of personality things or no personality tests. Or I've heard that, they'll do those sort of things with some agencies. This was contact them. Are you still interested? Can you follow an NDA, non-disclosure agreement? Oh, that's very important. The vast majority of agencies, if you talk about the fact that you're auditioning in any way, publicly, or even possibly privately, and it's found out, they are just going to be like, we're not interested anymore. You're not capable of keeping a secret. Because, oh God, this is something I have struggled with. Not necessarily just talking about the business side, but also just talking about the content. One of the most important things about making content is don't talk about it, get it done, and then put it out there. Because if you're constantly teasing about it, and also just constantly being like, I'm working on this super awesome thing, you might just spoil it for everyone. Or you might build up hype and then dash any surprise. So being able to keep a secret and also being able to keep your mouth shut is an important skill. And if agencies see that you're just incapable of, you know, not talking, man, I am incapable of talking right now.
I'm capable of keeping my mouth shut. I've been shut for a while now.
Yeah, take it away. You explain
Yes.
this then.
Yeah. Like the NDA is a good example. Like I have certain things at my workplace that I can't talk about. Um, PII, personally identifiable information.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my God,
P.
that's hard to say. For the P, it's like
Yes.
HIPAA in America as well, because if you have access to certain sensitive data that either legally or as some kind of a company mandate cannot and should not be exited, if it's internal only, and you go doing that, you can get fired. And if you have proven that you're a risk in that regard, along with maybe some other risks, then that's a no go. Because I'll use a work story too. There was a guy that we hired temporarily for the holidays, and I still love this guy. He was amazing. He was very kind and really wanted to help people. But to the point earlier of, oh, I love my Oshi. I want them to have more followers. Let me buy them for you. He did something in that vein. He's like, oh, let me copy paste this very detailed internal information and give it to people because I want to help them and I want to stay in this company. And no, that it's marked internal for reasons. And unfortunately, that guy was immediately walked out of the building. As soon as that happened and we found out, bam, he's gone. He was absolutely cool, absolutely amazing. I wish he would have stayed, but he overreached. So, but if you have those kinds of red flags ahead of time, they're not going to want to have you because yeah, it's too much of a risk. You could like blab some kind of internal ratio of earning and spending that they don't want to be out there because, maybe that doesn't make them look as good as another agency that might have published theirs. Maybe the other one is 80/20 and they're actually 60/40 and you don't get as much or whatever the case might be. They will not take that risk. Loose
Exactly.
lips sink ships.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing. Like, we'll often see, like, oh, look, there's 5 indie VTubers that just are graduating in, like, the span of these 2 months. Definitely don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
We
What
don't
happened
know.
there?
Yeah, we don't know what agency they're going to. We know they're graduating and they're probably going to pop back up in an agency as a corporate VTuber. But the thing is that for the rest of the world, the viewers who do not troll Twitter or Reddit or such looking for that information, their expectations are not spoiled. They're not going to be suddenly like, oh, they know where they're going to go, that sort of thing. So the company gets to keep that element of surprise for that new generation.
Yeah, I am definitely in that camp. I don't follow, I don't track. I don't even really watch any other like major VTubers, honestly. I barely watch anybody. I'm always like nose to the grindstone with my own stuff. I was in your stream, your ASMR stream.
You don't watch VTubers? Shame.
I have to. I need to watch more. because I need to
I
like get ideas and network and all that. I just too much of a workaholic is really what it boils down to. I've siloed myself and uh, I just worked and didn't really make any new friends or anything. So that's on me. I need to enjoy myself and not make it all about work.
Yeah, like there's a few VTubers that I watch that I like, sometimes put up on the second monitor and just listen to because like I just want to hear their voice. It's like, there we go. Just a little bit of that Oshi love in my ear.
Card Bard is like, what's a VTuber?
A VTuber is a virtual YouTuber. They tend to use some sort of avatar that represents themselves. Ta-da!
Nerd.
Nerd!
Nerd. I need a pointing hand that I could pull up now. I need to write that down. I'm redoing my whole stream setup, so I need a pointing hand.
Oh, you need a hand?
Oh God, no!
Wait, hold on.
Don't put it where you put Megamind.
Wait, what is this? Oh, what is his hand? Oh, this heart hand? No. Hand grab. What is this?
I don't like the sound of that one.
You know what? Never mind. I will not get out that hand. That's
a suggestive hand.
I noticed the tag on it said KVX art. I know that's going to go somewhere bad. Kevin makes a lot of sus assets, and I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah,
forget what that does.
Yeah, there's been controversies about his ass. Shit! I didn't do anything. I need to alter this so any VTuber on the screen gets it. I don't know if I can do that.
Wait, hold on.
There we go. Oh no. This I think I've seen this on late night TV. Okay. Don't. No, I didn't drop the soap. I promise I won't drop the soap. Now I need that PH theme song. Bow cheeky wow wow.
Sorry, this is just I'm just preening. I'm just grooming.
Oh, look at that! I have a button.
Yeah, let me get out of jail. I don't want to be back there. I don't want to be in jail with Stinky Fox.
I don't trust the bird behind me. Oh shit! Okay, time warp. We're apparently doing time warp, and you're gonna get affected by this. Oh God, you are absolutely being pulled into a black hole.
I can't see it on my end, so I guess I'll see it on stream in a bit.
Oh darn! I didn't get a screenshot fast enough. I've got stuff covering stream, like my notes.
Oh yeah, I got small face. There we go.
Small face. Hydrate. Oh, Yuma's just gonna burn through all of the emotes now. Not emotes, but redeems.
Yumu is not a Seiso VTuber. I don't believe that. Yeah, we do not breed. I'm very much taken.
Yeah, as am I, and we're not trying to make a parrot. I never thought about me being a parrot until this stream.
You literally have all the colors.
I do. Maybe I need like an alternate form that just is slightly parrot.
Yeah, just use the VTuber Studio effects. Oh wait, do effects work when you're in a collab?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Oh, I see it on my end, but I don't think I see it on your end. I don't know. I'll see if it shows up eventually on the stream.
Oh, I didn't see you do anything.
It's probably on my side only.
That's unfortunate because it seems like that would come through because if that program on your side can do it, it can tell mine, by the way, do this.
Well, it could be like shader issues. Yeah. I think we're definitely off track. Are we technically done?
There was something in my list I was thinking of.
Oh, what's in your list? I want to see your secret list.
My secret list. It's been abridged. I had like a lot more notes.
Here, I got to get rid of a bottle. It's ASMR time.
Oh no. We do a little product placement.
No, that was just me throwing a bottle down the stairs. That's how I get rid of bottles.
Out, damn recycling.
So how long until Pandora lays her egg, lime burb?
Oh God.
Um,
I do
over
not have a
under 1 to 3
cloaca.
months. No, I lay the eggs around here.
Oh God, it's like Easter all over again.
Like, plop, plop. No, no eggs for me.
Oh,
Though if I found an egg in
copycat.
the wild, I'd sit on it. I'd probably crush
That
that one.
that's the point that I wanted to bring up is copycatting. Because if let's say you like have this one famous VTuber that you love and you're like, and there's been instances of this, I want to be just like them, and then maybe you make your model similar, or you're like, oh, this person is based in the ocean. I want to be an ocean VTuber, and I'm gonna act like them and do content like them, and it's not you being you; it's you trying to be the next whoever. And I wish I could remember names, but there was a VTuber that literally stole somebody's like somebody famous's VTuber and just kind of recolored and changed a couple things and been like, "Hi, I'm totally original." So
Like,
you don't even need to go to that degree. It can be just be like very obvious that you're trying to be somebody else.
I don't think it's necessarily wrong to be inspired by your Oshi. I don't have any I'm not inspired by any bird-based Oshis or anything like that. This has just been me, how I've been forever. But if I okay, my
Ah,
Holo JP Oshi is, Jufute Raden. And I decided to be like, oh, I'm gonna dress up in a fancy outfit like her, that sort of thing. And I wanna I have the same vibes. I want to be like her, that kind of thing. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, but like you said, if you're straight up one-to-one copying their mannerisms, their style, if they're an Orca VTuber and you're an Orca VTuber or that sort of thing, there's a point where it's yeah, this person's just a carbon copy instead of just being inspirational, right?
yeah, because you can be inspired. There's so many VTubers of so many different types, and you can have an influence. Like, oh, they're from the ocean, but they're a whale. I want to be a shark, or I want to be a porpoise, or a dolphin, or a crab, or whatever else. You don't have to
Exactly.
follow one to one with whoever you like. And because another thing is also, it may not come from a place of loving. It may not be, oh, they're my Oshi, I love them so much, I want to be like them. It may come from a place of, how do I be famous? Oh, that person is famous and this is what they do. This is what they look like. And clearly people like that. And you copy with that in mind. That I think might be arguably worse because you're not coming from any kind of genuine place. You're just wanting to kind of game the system and think you found a get rich quick scheme or something like that. And that comes off way worse to me.
Yeah. I okay. Here's I think a good example of yeah, wanting to be like your Oshi and not being a copycat. Okay, I'm gonna name some corporate VTubers here, but don't take this to heart. This is not necessarily 100% factual because I'm going off my memory. Narissa Ravencroft. She's a KFP. She likes, Takanasha Kiara is her Oshi. And she's also bird based. I'm not saying that she chose to be a bird because Kiara is, but it's very clear that there's some inspiration there. There's she's also bird. So there's a point of inspiration, and then there's a point of now you're just a copycat.
Yeah.
I think I've just repeated myself.
Yeah, well, you copycatted yourself. Or copy
The bird
bird.
brain is shutting down.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, our maybe we can do a final summation after this point, but I th- I kind of want to equate it to like those I've seen apply for the jobs that I've had to sort through. Is
mm,
somebody who is like young and such, they might be like, I just want this job because I think it's cool. And like,
Oh yeah.
okay, well, like, what are you actually bringing to it? You've got the passion in a way, but you're not treating it as a job. So I think kind of translating it to VTuber terms, if you're just super excited about VTubers and that's it, that's going to come across because like we both obviously like VTubers, love them, and we've been them for like X amount of years. Like I'm beyond 3, I think at this point. I don't know how long Oz has been at it, but multiple years before me.
2019, 2020. Uh, I don't know.
Just like flashbacks start happening,
I've been
like
on
the
YouTube
nom
since
flashbacks.
2008. End me.
No. No, I refuse. I refuse. We're jail buddies
Uh,
now. You're the jail burb. But it basically equates to like we have staying power because we've been here for a while. We've been here for years. And like, yeah, somebody who's kind of half-hearted and just kind of, I really like VTubers could be in it for a few years. How you show up to that application and the interview, if you get that far, it's going to show
you
because
need focus.
exactly, it's a job. They're not looking for somebody who just really loves VTubers. Like, yeah, that's nice. Go watch one of our Oshis, rather watch one of our VTubers. That's your Oshi, and yeah, you're probably better as a fan. But we're looking for people who are going to do this job. It's not your dream that we're wanting to fulfill. It's our open position. It's a job, and I cannot say that enough.
Yeah, I think I can actually show or say from personal experience, I tend to be very scattered, even though I'm very technical and I tend to do lots of technical things. If you look back through like my history, you can see, oh, I have done 3D modeling. I've done some, some voice acting, ASMR. These are all things that you can use towards, your content and creation and that sort of thing. And I have. But what was my focus that whole time? Was it the technical skills? Was it the voice acting? What did I do consistently that whole time? So if I were to apply to an agency, I have to be able to show, oh, I've been working towards being a voice actor this whole time. Where is the proof that shows that? That kind of thing. So right now, if I were to apply to a VTuber agency, it'd be like, oh, what's the focus? What am I trying to become? I would be like, well, look at all the things I've done. Uh, uh, yeah,
Stand
there's
there
a lack
like
of
like
focus.
the I forget who it is. Will Smith meme where he's doing that hands to the side in a Y shape, like ta-da, and that would be what you'd be
Exactly.
doing. Like, look at all these things.
Yeah, and it's just like a pile of cool stuff you've done, but no focus. Focus is important for a lot of these companies. And if you look at a lot of generations of Hololive, they usually have 1 or 2 people that are really good at music, 1 artist, and then a wild card or 2.
Yeah, because there's something to be said for having a diverse set of people to watch. Unless
Mm.
you are like a hyper focused agency that just cranks out music, you're gonna want to kind of spread your talents across a particular like potential audience. You don't want to, because if you have nothing but like I'll just be absolutely insane here. Like if you have like 30 VTubers under your wing, haha, and all of them play piano, like they're fighting for audience, man. Like and for the same exact audience, and that's not going to work so well for you and your company. So you need a diversified roster of talents.
Actually, that's a good point. Someone messaged me and was like, "Hey, have you considered, flesh tubers? Actual face cam streamers for your product?" I'm like,
Meat bags.
"Yes, yes. Like, I need to diversify and get non VTubers into the partner program eventually, um, because that would help to expand the market of the product." And that's a very good point. Got to diversify.
Yep. And there was a question in chat I promised we would get to. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Where is
Mm-mm-mm.
it at? Ray Alita would like to know Are there any tips that we could provide for making an introduction video or applying to an agency?
Abandon all hope.
Abandon all hope, ye who enter. Turn back
Uh,
now.
I have a video that it's definitely not an audition video.
No. It's just for science.
That I put a lot of work into. And then I remember I said about, how the back half is like clips and such. Can I give you the video? Is that okay?
Oh, you can throw it in my chat. If the link doesn't work, I'll copy paste it.
Here, I'll put it in Discord first.
Oh, I see.
So this is a concept video that I worked on with the idea of I wanted something different and unique to catch the viewer's attention. And the idea is like, I'm playing a character, that sort of thing, introduce this and then go on. But after about a minute and a half, I was like, I'm out of ideas. Don't put clips at the end. I said this earlier. Just do not throw clips at the end. It's interesting and gives more information, but that's when they click off the video and get disinterested. The concept that you throw out for these videos needs to be concise. Much like earlier I said about, what you intend to do. Are you intending to be an artist? Are you intending to be a musician? You have to have focus. So whatever video you're showing people needs to have focus. So the first minute and a half of this video I'm using as an example here has focus. It's showing what it's supposed to be. But then I just essentially ramble off and be like, here's a bunch of clips. So I think that that's the most important thing is have focus.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that I would add on, going back to what we'd said a bit ago about the retention rate of a viewer, it applies very much to a YouTube video, and it applies a lot here because they've got so many to go through, is as Ashiana said, at the 10-second, 30-second mark, something like that, you need to regain their attention. So
right.
There's several ways to do that, and I'm learning that because I'm on my YouTube journey. I just hit 501 subscribers, yay, confetti! But I have 499 more to go because YouTube moved that damn mark. But what I'm trying to get at is that, oh, my brain broke. I need that little bird in my head just popping up and going cheap, cheap, cheap. Now, no, this is the prison scene all over again.
Cheap.
It's more like you're just pecking a hole in the back of my head or beating me with your booba. Jiggle the car keys. Jiggle the car keys. Oh, yes, that was what I was going to do. There's ways to get people's attention. Like I could mention interesting facts or change my visuals or change music or something like that that would reaffirm the attention at certain key points, right? Or you could be an absolute gremlin about it and not in a good way. Think about the people who do quote unquote prank videos that are just flat out annoying. That they just walk up to people that are just dining in an outside area with umbrellas, having their brunch, and just scream all of a sudden. Sure, that got attention, but not good attention. So if you're trying to reaffirm that attention in your video in an abrasive way or like a less than favorable way, I don't know how else to phrase that. It's going to make them like throw their headphones and change the video, go on to the next applicant because you didn't show anything other than I can be an asshole. So make sure you're doing it in a good way. You're showing them what they want to see because at the 10-second mark, good fact about me that you need to know. 30-second mark. By the way, did you actually know I can do this too? Here's how I did it. And you're keeping the interest basically.
If you can make it work, I think that's okay. Like just sliding a fact in there, but like not bringing too much attention to it.
Yeah, that wasn't the best example, but like it has to be interesting and worth their time. Maybe it's a better way to say that. Whatever you're doing in that video, it has to push further the idea of that you're a good fit, that you have this skill. You can prove that you have this skill in whatever way that you need to showcase it.
Yeah, and A common storytelling element, callbacks. That's something you can do. There's there's a YouTube channel called Climate Town, and he does callbacks in a very obvious manner. He basically tells you he's going to do a callback, and then like 10 minutes later you've forgotten, and then he does the callback, and it's like, oh shit, right. Um, Not the best example, but callbacks can be a great way to be like, hey, remember this thing I mentioned in the beginning? It helps to reinforce it. So if you have a clever way, maybe a joke to like be like, hey, remember this thing I said earlier? Now it's important. Um, there's a lot of those storytelling elements, and I wish I had a resource I could just show you of how to structure your stories, how to like lay out your script that helps with like callbacks and foreshadowing and all that. If you can weave those elements into whatever you're doing for your video, especially if you're not just like singing a song to be a musician, if you're trying to be a comedian or something, these are all elements that can help you make a better video.
Yeah, and comedians do use callbacks quite a bit. There's some comedians and talk shows that I watch that they do callbacks, and I know they do callbacks, but like Oz said, you forget that they do callbacks. They catch you off guard, and it makes you enjoy it more because you're like, oh dang, they got me. And it doesn't have to be a joke. It could be storytelling. It could be an interesting fact because like it's even used in like horror films, the callback stuff. So
Yeah, like one of my current interests is like I've been watching and studying Rakugo, which is a traditional storytelling format in Japan. And watching some of these masters be like, oh, I'm telling this story, and then suddenly the punchline comes and it references like a few things they said at the beginning, and it's like, damn, they're good at this. And they've taken like years to master it.
yeah, and there's not necessarily one specific way to get that good video. You find what vibes with you. Like if was it Rakudan, like that is something that
Rakudan?
was it. What was it you said? Rakudan,
Rakugo.
Rakugo. I was like Rakudan. I think I'm like making up some kind of new anime, but or a new dish. It was Katsudan earlier. Now it's Rakudan. I wonder what Raku stands for. I'm just making menu items. But like
Rokudan.
Rokudan, six dan. I guess there's like six
Six
stands. It's like a
bowls.
haiku.
No, it's just six
Oh,
bowls.
Roku.
Rakudan.
Yeah, like the Roku stick. Yeah.
Which is literally six.
Six. Yes. I
We have
know
6
that
bowls of food.
from the other green bird who teaches me Japanese.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no relation. There's
yes,
a green owl that
Bakugan.
teaches Japanese. No relation. Green owl that teaches Japanese. Green owl on stream that is in Japan and knows some Japanese. Hey, Pandora,
Nani?
have you done your Japanese lessons?
Hi. I did it right before stream.
Okay, understood.
I'm at like 187 days or something like that.
I let my streak lapse.
I noticed.
I've been going to an in-person tutor.
That's better.
Yeah.
Do owl VTubers eat wild mouse VTubers or just wild mice? I do know a mouse VTuber.
I mean,
I
mice are
interviewed
very
him.
tasty. Oh, yeah. Have you petted your pink cow today? Not yet. That is on the agenda right after this.
But yeah,
Gotta
I'm
find
trying
the
to
pink
think of.
fluffy cow.
Oh, I guess one final thing that I can think of, at least until I think of the next thing, wording counts. Because you can say the exact same thing multiple ways. And I've learned this in my job because I have to tell a story with numbers. And I could throw the numbers out and go, yep, we're up by 10% this week. And yeah, that says something, but does it actually tell the story? No. Why are we up? So taking that into the VTuber world is like, well, sure, you can say you're a good fit, but why? So you have to tell that story of, in every single answer of every single question, even in your video, answer that question. Give the right details that they're looking for. One thing that I did in my research for the other video that I did about, I swear it's Don't Go Corpo video, I'm pretty sure that's the one, was like what questions are asked and changed between companies and waves. And for me, as someone who's been on all sides of it, including the hiring and firing, that tells me something because if there's a change, it's for a reason. They don't ask questions for no reason. There is a purpose behind every single one of them. So if you can kind of get behind the head of them, like how I'm doing when I do that research, you might get a bit of a leg up on answering them. Because if you look and say, oh, these 5 questions are actually sort of musical, and these next ones are more about games, it seems like there might be some specific VTubers that they've created, even though I haven't seen this, but I'm kind of giving an example off the top of my head, that they might be looking for certain types of people. How do I, stay truthful, mind you, but still answer their question in a way that highlights my skills the best? And you can get this kind of stuff out of interview prep, just general job interview prep, because you have to be good at talking about yourself and selling yourself during any interview. And this is a job interview. So even taking a few little like videos of how to do that, even if you're not in an actual interview yet, can help you to answer the questions, I believe.
Yeah. Also, a lot of these like professional corpo VTubers that have made it, they have actually talked about their application process, and you can find these videos on YouTube where they mention like, oh, I got asked, general questions about certain things. And, if you have a particular VTuber that know and love, your Oshi, sometimes you can just type their name plus audition into YouTube and find where they talked about that.
Yeah, like I would recommend going through multiple because think about the last time you interviewed for anything. How many of those questions do you remember? And think about when did they start their job as a VTuber in that company versus when did that video come out? There's going to be things that are missing and also things that our company mandated to not be talked about because they don't want to give you the answers to the test because otherwise everybody would start passing it and then they'd be like, how the hell do we tell these people apart? So you're going to get some information, but not all of the information.
Yeah, and sometimes these interviews are also how quickly can you think on your feet? Because an important skill as someone who is literally broadcasting live is like, oh, can I play off a joke? Can I, play off something the other person in a collab said? So if you can do that in an interview setting, then you can do it live on a stream.
Yep. The trouble with interviews is you get nervous. At least I know I do. And I've recommended this in the past, and it's kind of silly, but it does work. Maybe not for everybody, but it's something that has been proven to work. Is how Superman and Wonder Woman stand with their chest out and their hands on their hips and their elbows are bent. That's called a power pose. There's others, but that's the only one I ever remember. 'Cause I'm a comics nerd as well. But I use that before certain interviews, and it actually works to a certain degree. Like you have to do your prep, you have to feel comfortable and all of that. But if you need to shake those last minute jitters, sometimes just a quick little break in the normality can help. And a power pose is a confident pose, and it can also kind of psychologically psych you up for it.
Yep. Speaking of other psychological things, so Pandora, don't look, but suddenly there's 10,000 viewers on your stream. How do you handle it?
I know that's not true, but if it is, holy shit. I call it out
Yeah.
like, oh God, wow, welcome everybody. Whoa, I don't know where you guys came from, but hey, welcome. My name is Pandora, blah, 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 blah. Like that is how I would typically react if someone rated me and they brought in like multiple viewers that are higher than what I currently have. That would be my reaction.
So I'm actually going to say the opposite. Don't.
Don't acknowledge the elephants in the room.
No. So one of the things I've seen a lot in these like interview questions that they get that, my Oshis and other people talk about is they get asked, how do you handle, suddenly going from 10 average viewers to 10,000 average viewers? Like, how do you handle that jump? Do you become nervous? Do you call it out? And one of the most important things is to never call out how many people are watching. Because, like, conversely, on the other end, it's like, oh, I only have one viewer, etc. That one viewer, God, they're so important to you. But, like, it also sounds bad when you're like complaining about how little viewers you have. It also sounds bad when you're like, oh shit, I got 10,000 viewers. Um,
I failed the test.
right.
But I actually thought of
So,
an answer for the question if I was being interviewed. So
mhm.
ask the question again, and I'll answer it as if I was in an interview.
Well, I'll answer it. Let me finish
Oh
my
yeah,
chain
yeah,
of thought
yeah.
here.
Sure, go.
So on Twitch, it's a little different. The raid culture means yes, you should be like, hey everyone, welcome in. I'm, Asiana, blah blah blah. Introduce yourself. Um, but like calling out the number or calling out like, oh, that's a shit ton of people. Um, if it's genuine, just let it roll out of your mouth. Cool. Um, but when it comes to like YouTube, especially for these agencies where they're suddenly just going to thrust you in front of a large audience, just cut all the zeros off the end and still pretend it's one like sentient mass. It's one collective brain
It's a
cell that you're
hive
still talking
mind.
to. Yeah. Like still treat it like it's one like person that you're talking to and you're trying to entertain the shit out of that one person with all your effort. So, Pandora, you suddenly have 10,000 viewers on your stream. How do you handle this?
Well, since I knew this was going to happen, I would be moving from my particular viewer count to a much higher viewer count. Now that I've been placed in such a large spotlight by your company, I would naturally come prepared. I would have programmed a few things into my stream setup and been able to kind of highlight certain things I know I would want to see, maybe hide other things that I may not want to see, to make it a little bit easier for me as an individual and customize it to my particular
Mm-hmm.
needs. That way
Mm-hmm.
I could more effectively address and
Mm-hmm.
answer and call out my viewers because they need to know that they matter to me. And I don't want to see them as a number. It could be one, it could be 20,000. But I also want to start to realize who my regulars are. So I would want to code something in that would perhaps give me a special little number that only I could
Mm-hmm.
see. And that way I could make sure to call out those people who have perhaps watched more hours, been to more streams, or maybe cheered more bits or what have you than the other ones, because like I don't want to necessarily highlight them above all else, but I want to give them a little bit more treatment per se. But I also want to
Mm-hmm.
conversely flip the script and also highlight those who are new,
Mm-hmm.
those who haven't been here for very long, those who may be a first-time chatter or a viewer or
Mm-hmm.
somebody of that regard. So I want to be able to address the highs and the lows at a glance, but also pull out from the middle. Because, as an example, at a report I made at work, I have a classification of red for, of course, bad, because that's how things
Mm-hmm.
go, and blue for the good. She's running off on me now. But oh god, the interviewer's leaving the room. What do I do? But basically, like the way that I work, I have a bit of a deficiency in my eyeballs. So yeah, I do have a reading deficiency that is color based. So I need a little bit extra help, and I code that stuff myself. And it will help me to find the tops, the mids, and the bottoms to be able to equally give that particular segment of my viewership equal amounts of attention.
So I am not going to say that that's a passing answer. I'm not going to
It's
say that's a
dependent.
failing answer.
It's off the cuff.
Yeah. So here's my honest take on that. If you're on Twitch where that kind of culture is the norm, yes. With a lot of these corporate VTubers, most of them are on YouTube. That's where the culture is. Like, especially watching like Nijisanji, Hololive, and some of the other, like, especially the Japanese ones, they would not sit there being like, oh, here's my frequent viewers, especially with large audiences. If you're like, oh, here are my like most watched viewers, that starts creating favoritism. And
Yeah.
uh, there's been, I don't want to name the agency, uh, but it was an agency where they had someone who was doing girlfriend experience content, and they were sort of, having,
Catering.
oh, here's the people who donate the most. Here's the people who are here
Yeah.
the most.
Yeah. Like in my
And
example, it would only be visible to me and I would never call it out. But like visually, I want to be able to, not always, because once you get used to names, like if I seen you in my stream and I was huge, I would immediately see your name because it's like when you buy a car, you always see that car on the road because you're used to seeing
Yes,
that car.
yes.
So I don't want to have my brain do that. So my thought was I need to have some kind of equalization system to where I could call out the names equally, respond to certain comments equally, other than being drawn to names that my brain has become familiar with.
Yeah, and earlier when I said it doesn't matter if it's one person or 10,000 people, treating them as like one brain cell, one entity is treating the audience fairly because at that point you're still trying to entertain everyone instead of focusing on just a few people.
Yeah, see, since I don't watch like the top like major VTubers, I don't know if they go, "Oh, hey, welcome back, Bob. Thanks for coming
They
back." And
don't. They
yeah,
don't.
see, that's why I answered the way that I did because I just
Now,
didn't
you
know.
might
But it
you
brings
might
up a
have like
point. Do your
yeah.
research.
Yeah. So like some of those top ones, they might have like a super chat or a really unhinged comment that makes them go, "Huh?" And they might respond to it. But that's because that comment can be used in a good way for their stream. Like because they're thinking
Gotcha.
about how can I use this to entertain everyone, the entity that I am talking to.
Right. You think of it more as your audience, which is, in your example, one thing. My audience is primarily made
Yes.
up of, like demographically, males 20 to 45 and females of this age in this particular country. And so you kind of get an idea as to, what is going to hit more often. This is me being statistical again, but something like that. You could even just generally feel it in your audience that they appreciate this and they don't really land on this kind of a joke or what have you. So you can feel that or you can do it with stats.
Pandora,
Yeah.
I really need to go to the bathroom. Miss Pandora, can I go to the bathroom?
Take your hall pass. And here's the
All
bathroom
right.
key.
All right. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick. I'm really sorry. I have to pee really bad.
She's peeing behind the dumpster.
Yes, I'll be right back.
Try to put out the fire while you're back there. VTubers usually interact on a closer way with their mods, not the viewers. That's probably something also that I am kind of blind to because I don't go into a lot of the top streamers, VTubers rather, is like I would rather interact with you guys, like in my chat, and like I am right now. Like I find joy in that. I love it. I can't. Maybe I just currently cannot imagine a world where like it's speeding by so fast that I can only maybe pick out something here and there. I'm just not close to that particular range just yet. I know I would figure out some kind of method for it. I've been in highly populated situations where the attention is all on me and I have to come up with stuff, both in work and in my hobbies. So I'm used to being on stage, you should say, or I should say. Yeah, yeah, she has to lay those eggs for breakfast, right? Because the price of those has gone up so far. You just need to own your own chicken. Oz is my chicken. She's back there laying my eggs, so we can have scrambled eggs and toast, or even better, British breakfast. Those I absolutely love. It's like eggs, toast, baked beans, and there's something else that I'm like that I cut out. I forget what it is that I cut out, but that's basically it. Whatever's missing is the part that I cut out. I don't know if I've missed any of your guys' comments or not. I think we've been pretty good on keeping up with them. I'm trying to think of like what else I might offer. Uh, like partway through, I looked up something that's an interview method called the STAR method. I don't think it would work in this situation because it's more of like a job, like a traditional job. Because STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result, which is basically a problem-solving equation. Like, hey, I'm trying to hire you as an engineer. Can you tell me a time when you if you guys have ever done a job interview, this is a pretty standard question. Can you tell me a time when you overcome a coding challenge on a tight deadline or whatever it might be? Then you might be able to say, oh, well, this was the situation and this is the task that was at hand and the action that I took. And the result was that everybody loved me and I got a promotion. Oh, God. She's behind me, isn't she?
I'm back from the bathroom. Hi, hello.
Hello.
Here's the hall pass. I stuck it in your tails.
Ah! I thought I felt something kind of stiff back there. I should not have put that on a wooden paddle with splinters. Ooh.
Ow, ow.
Yeah. Gonna feel that for a while.
I'm not a chicken. I am an owl. Caw! I mean, who?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
I can't think of anything else that we haven't already covered.
and my voice is dead. Like I'm.
I blame your warm up.
Oh,
That
yeah,
warm up was insane.
the music's gonna be ew wee. That. Oh, hey,
Yes,
I'm good again.
that.
I'm good again for like
There
5
you go.
minutes. There's now video, or well, at least audio evidence of that.
Oh, there's
No one
video.
clip that.
I can clip that.
Oh, I have Audacity recording in the background too. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
There's multiple proofs, both on Twitch and YouTube. The VODs are available.
Yeah. I think the only thing to add is you said earlier, do your research. If you want to go for the big times, like if you're applying to like HoloLive, how they present and hold themselves and treat the audience is different than how you do on Twitch, because like YouTube versus Twitch is very different. Like you have to research what you're going for.
I did think of something else. On a few of the applications that I looked at, the phrasing is going to be different, but the question basically equated to, why do you want to work with us? And this is to weed out people who are just shotgun applying to anywhere, just wanting to be a VTuber under any corporation. So the reason why this matters, you might not think it does, because I was like, oh, well, they want to be a VTuber, they want to do well. Why would this question even matter? It does, because if I am hiring for my company and there's somebody out there that just take literally any job that anybody gave them, do they really want to work with my company? Do they have a passion for my company? If another company came along, would they jump ship? Like, they seem so wishy-washy because they would apply to anything that it raises a red flag. It's a risk for me. Whereas if somebody answered this question with not like oh my God, my Oshi works there, I want to work there kind of like gushing fan answer, but basically, like, as an example, if this company was known for really treating their talents well, you might say that I've done a good bit of research. I have looked at, X agency, this agency, or even like, your competition, roughly this many agencies. And based on this, I find that you excel
The numbers.
in this area.
The numbers
this
are coming
area.
out.
Well, it's not necessarily the numbers. This is the research on the company per se, because as an example, there are some that treat their VTubers exponentially better, at least from the outside perspective, and they're known for that. So if I was applying to one of those, calling that out would be a wonderful thing, because honestly, that matters to me. Because if you've watched my I forgot the video, but I used to work in a kind of like a black company in Japan terms, but it was a U.S. company. I was treated extremely poorly, and I have a whole video on that. But because of something like that, I really want to be in a company that's going to treat me right, that's going to value my talent, value my time, and appreciate me and listen to my voice and input. Basically, treat me like a freaking human being. And, all of the very, very basic things that you think would be there. Absolutely. That is going to matter to me. And if that is something that the company is known for, 100% that's why I'm applying to them. Because I want to be in a place that I'm going to be valued, appreciated, uplifted, and everybody else at that company has that same value. I don't want to take a risk. like as yet another example, if I'm looking at a normal job, going back to big numbers again, if this
Mm-hmm.
company is a multi-million dollar company and oh wow, if I worked at that company, I have to have a lot of money and a good life and all the things that I want. Not necessarily. They could have a high turnover rate. That's also something that I would look into, which, God, I'm thinking of way more things to even talk about now. It's all coming out. I had a lot of research for the other video in this one, but I'll cut this one short so I can go to the next thought before I lose it. But basically, the
Mm-hmm.
bigger the company doesn't mean the better the treatment. Some of the smaller companies that I've found that have emerged recently seem to really treat their talents well. They've learned from the follies of the other bigger corporations
Oh
on how
yeah.
not to treat people. And I, in my VTuber manager interviews, there was, I forget who mentioned it, may have been Gucci, that there's going to be a tipping point of when treating people badly is going to matter a lot, to where if you don't and you're known for that, no one's going to want to work for you because the other companies have done it so well that it's the new norm, and you can't be behind the times. So you're going to have to up level your treatment of people, your managers, like knowledge and such. So yeah, that I'm going to end that thought before I go too far. Let's see if I even remember the other one. Go ahead while I try to remember the other thing.
I was gonna say like the is corpo right for you? Because co- uh, being in an agency, especially VTuber agencies, they control you. It's like that is their thing. There are
Yep.
benefits to that, like with the anonymous stuff, but like haven't you made a video about this, Pandora?
I have. Probably.
Oh yeah,
We're
maybe I'm
talking
just
about
quoting you.
the. I need to just pull up my videos and paste them in as I'm talking about them. As we're talking about like, oh, I'll do my Black Company one here.
Oh hey,
Did
I finally got whatever was stuck in my throat out.
Oh,
I
that's
think it was a bit
good.
of a, I think it was some fox hair.
That makes sense. My tail hair, if it's a little blue, a little pink, that's probably it.
It's just the tip, it's the black.
Just the tip. I need a button for Archer to come up and go phrasing. But the video I just linked was the one of me surviving hell, basically. And the other one is
Wait, is
what,
this black company? Am
that's the
I?
Black Company
Was that
one.
the one that I worked with you before?
I'm trying to remember. I worked at it while I lived with you, if that helps.
Wait,
Before and after I
up
moved
north or
away,
down south?
both.
Oh, that company. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The,
I think you
we,
did a
as in,
little
we
bit.
did
Yeah,
not
yeah,
work
yeah.
at the same company.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is not my internship.
No. So that was the Black Company one. And what was the one that you were referencing? You said, "Oh, I think you made a video on it."
Uh,
Is it
uh?
don't be a corporate VTuber or something like that?
Oh, I was just referencing in general, like, okay, my thing about like, do you want to work as a corporate VTuber because they own all of the intellectual property,
Yep.
and typically
Oh
because
yeah,
of all
yeah.
the NDAs, you get nothing if you leave the company. You're not allowed to talk about it. You have to go in knowing that essentially some of your audience might find you after you leave the company or when you join the company if you already have an audience. But they essentially own your career at that point.
Yep.
So you have to go in knowing, is this what you want to do? And I will say in some cases, especially on the Japanese side, not so much on the English side, but here in Japan, there are plenty of crazy stalkers that will be like, if I can find out a little bit of information about my Oshi or my person, I will go hunt them down and like try to meet them in person, right? So the company going out of their way to say you cannot talk about it, others cannot talk about it. We have these protections and NDAs in place so that you're anonymous. In Japan, that's a huge benefit. Even though you are losing all of your intellectual property stuff, it is a huge benefit to have that anonymity. So there's a huge trade off to going corpo. And you kind of have to decide, is that right for you?
And there's another thing to consider with being a corporate VTuber is, to your point, they own the IP, the model, the
Right.
merchandising, all of that. You only get a portion of that while you're in existence with them and their sales. If you leave, you lose all of that, right? The thought
Yep.
behind that is you're doing all of this work. Let's say you're with them for 5 years. You're working hard to build that brand, to build everything behind that VTuber, and then you lose it. You may or may not find footing somewhere else, and then you have to potentially start again unless people go, "Oh, that's that other person that I can tell from their voice," and, "Hey, everybody, let's flock to them," which may or may not happen. So, do you want to build somebody else's brand, somebody else's company, only to lose it all in the end? Or, contrary to that point, feel trapped that if I leave, I am not going to be able to make this kind of money because they own everything. It's kind of like a bit of blackmail if you think about it that way, because if you
Eh,
leave, you lose stuff. I mean, it depends on if the company weaponizes it or you internally have those thoughts that weaponize it just because of your internal thoughts or
No,
what have you.
the,
But
technically, the company does lose it too because there's no sane company that will try to reuse the intellectual
right,
property with a different actor or actress
yeah,
behind it. So even though there is this whole thing of you own nothing, the company also loses everything if you leave. So it's technically in the best interest of the company to also make sure you stay happy.
if they have the right mindset. I've seen companies that are
Correct.
just like, you're replaceable, even though they've got a cost
Yeah.
associated with replacing you and a time to proficiency with that new talent. They may not have the best mindset, which is why, going back to my earlier point, having a company that treats you well makes a big difference. And the big companies aren't necessarily the good companies. But I wrote my other talking point in chat so I wouldn't
Attrition
forget it.
rate.
Attrition rate. This is
Please
a.
explain. What is attrition rate?
I'm glad you asked. Attrition
Oh
rate is
boy.
basically the hiring numbers versus the leaving numbers. So if I hire 100 people and 50 of them leave, that's a 50% attrition rate. And then you also want to apply that versus time. So you can actually track this. I've really thought about digging into these numbers. When someone debuts with X company and when they graduate from X company, and then do that for every one of their talents. You can create an
Ooh.
attrition rate of that to be able to say how fast do they run these people away, which could be either A, they suck at hiring, or B, they're burning these people out, or the culture is so toxic that they can't stand it, or who knows what it is. But it's a bad sign regardless. So if a
Are,
company has a higher attrition rate, stay away.
are you going to do this for every like agency out there?
I thought about it. I don't know
Mm.
enough about the corpo VTubers to be able to track this kind of stuff down. It would take me a while to do all this math and like write all the dates down and all of that. And then, oh my goodness, yeah, war of attrition. That's exactly what every company has that they're battling at every given time. Because like my company, new hires are a thing. New hires hurt your business because I said time to proficiency earlier. So there's a learning curve for everything that you do. Even if I picked a very great VTuber, dropped them into my company, let them run, they still will have a time to proficiency for getting used to the new environment, their new, potentially new fan base and schedule and wave partners or things like that. So there is a certain curve for everything. Yeah, I am a
Mm.
total nerdy fox for things like this. I can give so much hiring
Yes, you
advice.
are. Mm. Um, if you need help on like, data on like VTubers, I can help you find that information. Also, like I follow graduations and debuts pretty closely.
Yeah, whereas I do not.
I'm like,
I
oh,
wouldn't
there's a
know.
new wave. Where
You
did
could
these people come from?
you could mention a name, I would be the one going, "Who? Who?"
I'd be like, oh, you don't know who this person did before they were in an agency? Lame.
Yeah, I would not know. That's why I struggled at one point. It's like, am I even a VTuber? I don't do these things. I don't have an Oshi. I don't follow like the corpo VTubers. I don't for
And
the
it's not
common
required.
things. Yeah, it feels
It's
like
not
it is.
required. But like for me, some of these like VTuber debuts, I'm like, I know that voice. I know what like I recognize that voice. Like I know who that is. Like I've watched enough of their content. It's like, oh shit, I know who this is.
Yeah.
Turn into
Panda's
an
got
owl
it
when they
right.
ask about Furby.
Yes, I will definitely be going, who, who, who,
Who? Who? Who?
who are you? Who?
Who are you to say that you don't know anything about my VTubers?
Yeah,
I don't know where
I
I'm
think
going
I'm
with that.
actually, I think I'm actually out of talking points now that we
I'm
haven't
out of
already
voice.
done. Hey, Vrak, welcome,
Uh,
welcome.
oh, hello, Vrak. How's it going?
I haven't seen Vrak in a while.
Well, I mean, if I went live, I'm sure he would show up.
Yeah, he's definitely a burb follower. He follows the
Vrak has
burb.
been around for a long time, and you know what I say about you should always like cherish the people that come to your stream all the time. Vrak, you're wonderful.
Panda's got a
And
question for you.
um, how many years ago did you divorce Duolingo, and how's the custody battle going over Pandora? Well, you see, the thing is that I knew Pandora first. Then Pandora and I lived together for a while. You can read into that how you want, however you want.
Right.
And then she moved away.
I flew the coop.
And
I flew the
then
nest.
yes. And then I'm like, man, this green owl, Japanese learning, that's pretty good.
Oh, he's multilingual. Ooh.
Oh yeah. Parlez-vous en français?
Omelette du fromage.
Oh, I actually had to use French, like a very tiny bit, when I was out over a few nights ago. There was a French couple. They were on the train, and they're like, try to ask someone who's Japanese, like in French, like Osaka number, and I'm like, oh no. So I'm like, hey, English, and they're like, oh no, français, and I'm like, oh, parlez-vous en français, and they're like, ah, oui, and I'm like, yay. They're like, where's Namba? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just make this simple. Uehomachi, Nihonmachi, Namba. And they're like, oh, do. And I'm like, yes, 2 stations. You got this. Easy.
I did not know you knew French.
I don't really remember much of French. I studied it like 1 class in high school and dropped out, and I'm like, I hate this.
I picked the best language ever in high school. You want to know what it is?
German?
Latin.
Oh yeah, then you don't remember anything.
I could read coins. E pluribus unum out of many pluribus out of many one. Yeah, there we go.
Wait, she corrects me over Pandora, but not about Duolingo?
What?
I don't get it.
Oh, yeah. The correction was, I knew Pandora first. But you leaned into the Duolingo being your daddy. Not daddy, but your daddy.
Oh yeah, that's how we got a, that's how we got a Yuma. That's where the cow baby came from.
Wait, do we need to put you two on a Jerry Springer episode now?
Yes, we got to do the DNA test.
Oh, I need more toggles and more things to go. You are not the father.
Our memes are very old and outdated.
Yeah, we're hags.
The colors, Duke. The colors.
That's me. I am the colors.
My hair is even faded. It's supposed to be like a bright nuclear green, and it's all faded.
It's uranium green.
Yeah, it's supposed to. Oh, what? I don't think that. No, that toggle won't work here. Oh no, there's no green. All I have is spider. Where's actually here? Spider.
Ah, there we go. I see Spooter.
Yes. All right, go away, Angel. We don't need you
right?
now.
Yes. I remembered. I remembered the day. I have no toggles
right
of that
as
sort.
I said it.
No, we said it at the same time. That counts. Damn it. The colors, Duke. The colors. Yes. That
the
is.
cough thing, I'm dying.
Oh, what commercial was that?
Was it the baked beans?
I thought it was beans. I'm like, wait, beans don't have colors. Is he tripping balls on beans?
I mean, maybe.
Spooter. Spooter man.
Oh no, it's
Spooter man.
popsicle. Uh,
Oh,
yeah, or the original popsicles.
like the actual
They had like the
popsicle brand.
yeah with like the dotted lines. Sorry, the dots around the logo. I mean,
I kind of remember that.
yeah, the colors, Duke. The colors.
We need
It's
to
very
have like
1990s.
like a hag remembrance stream. And just like go down memory lane of all the things, like He-Man and Transformers and all commercials.
Oh God. Pandora, if bottoms are blue, tops are red, then what is green and lime?
Good in my margaritas. What? I don't know.
I guess it. I guess they're asking, like, am I a top or a bottom? Is that what they're doing?
I think
I
it's
don't know.
kind of a reference back to when I was giving the color gradation chart example. Like reds were bad and blues were good because colorblind. They can't really do a distinguishing between red, blue. Depends on the
Green is
colorblindness.
best.
Green is best. I don't know.
Green hair, best.
All the colors best. Technically, I have some green. I have green.
Yeah, yeah. You have green hair, so therefore best.
Just like I don't know how much percent. Like maybe about 5 to 10% of me is best.
Yeah, just that little percent. It's just like going into the rest of you.
That is it. That's all the best. The rest is stinky fox.
Yes, stinky fox. Would not have it any other way. Best stinky fox.
I blame Ayumu for the stinky fox thing. That's where it started.
Well, I mean, foxes are like categorically stinky. It's.
I call false fake news. Fake news.
I mean, I'm a bird. I'm probably gonna shit everywhere. You know.
You see a car, you must poop.
I mean, considering how often I fart, yeah.
Oh, that's TMI.
I haven't farted this whole stream. It's okay.
Or the mic has some good noise cancellation. We'll never know.
Or I just hit the pedal on the floor.
Yeah, the mute pedal.
Yeah. So I got a nice little pedal for it. My throat is actually dead now. I need to stop.
That's fine. We're like way off topic and just kind of just vibing and talking at this point. There's nothing wrong with just we're way off topic.
Vibe and talk. You ever see no, actually I'm totally down for doing like a 1990s nostalgia thing. We just have to find all the media, right?
Yeah, there's actual like compilations of old commercials I've watched on YouTube, and they pop up the date and I'm like, "Oh god, I feel so old now." Because it's like, "Oh, back in this age was this." It's like when you think about like oh, this video game released. Oh, it's not that old, and then you actually look up the release date, you're like, "Shh."
Oh, have you played Pokemon Red?
I only play Pokemon Go.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Never mind. Have you ever owned a Game Boy?
Yes, I won one. And it was from a math competition, if you can believe that.
When did the Game Boy release?
when I was in high school.
1989.
Yeah.
But you were in high school in 1989?
It wasn't a brand new release. Damn, I don't. Should I say when I graduated? Would that be like doxing?
No, you're not. You're not that much older than me. Like you were not in high school in 1989.
Well, I got it in high school.
Okay, so yeah, I was gonna say if you were in high school in 1989, you are lying about your age to me.
I put my actual graduation year in our Discord, so you can kind of compare.
Okay, yeah, it's like you're definitely. I was gonna say you're definitely not that much older than me.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to say that number because that number can be mathed out to roughly my age.
Well, that's the thing. If I tell people my age and that you're older than me,
they can just add an arbitrary number to it.
People know how old I am. They'll figure it out eventually.
Oh shit. You doxed me by proxy. By proxy doxing.
I said that we are hags, so you know.
Yeah. I'm definitely in that particular camp. I don't call it out. I think that's the first time I've ever actually said it. I've made references that allude to it, but I've never actually said it before today.
That's the thing. Like every time I don't know. I guess this is like a perception aging issue thing. Like when I was back in the US, people are like, "Oh, you're what, 20, 25?" And I'm like, "Wait, hold on. What's going on here?" I'm definitely much older than that. And like I think it's similar with you because like I meet you and I'm like, "You Pandora, have you aged? Like at all?" You know what I mean? Like I don't
Yeah,
know if it's just because like I'm not there paying attention all the time, but I'm like,
right.
You don't seem any different. Is it just like my like personal worldview, or do you just not actually age?
Forever young. I made a deal with the devil at a crossroads. I never age. I'll be all the VTubers from here until eternity.
Well, I mean, canonically, I'm like 400 some years old, but we don't
Oh,
talk about that.
canonically, you're actually older than me. I put like roughly 200 as mine. Because
Yeah,
per
but
my
I'm
lore, I
going on.
don't know my actual age because I like disappeared into a forest. Didn't really have a calendar because I was a fox. And then I
But
emerged and, time passed.
the thing is, I'm also going off based like the rotational stuff of where I came from. So it's like, okay, what is it in Earth years? Yeah,
So you have like that dog years thing going on. You have a
yeah. It's
conversion
like
rate.
yeah, like what is the conversion rate of my universe to this universe? Uh,
Yes, Pandora is immortal. There can be only one. I need to take out my katana and like attack you now. Highlander rules.
uh,
My, my juices will be wine. Oh, okay. I just
sweeter the
envisioned
juice.
that.
Wait, can we juice the fox?
Oh God, no, we easing the juice, buddy.
Oh, jeez.
If we're going hag, let's go full hag and pull up Polishore.
Huh?
You don't remember that?
Remember what?
Pauly
What?
Shore, no, like the way he
Oh,
spoke, he's
Polly
like, no,
Shore.
yeah, like in Encino Man, and he was in the Goofy
I
movie. He played the AV a dog. He would just
I
like,
barely remember him.
I loved him growing up. He's like, no, we easing the juice, buddy. That's how he would break up the words.
Yeah, I definitely barely remember him. Okay, you gotta understand. When I was growing up, my interests were internet and classical music.
Yeah, I grew up with classical music as my jam, and I got made fun of because of it. Like in elementary school, I would be on the swing set with my headphones on, and since we're already outed as hags, a cassette tape player, a Walkman, with those fuzzy little foam earmuffs, swinging on the swings, being like da 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 da, da 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 da.
Da-da-da-dum.
And everybody thought I was so weird. It's like, you don't listen to the current music. I'm like, no. Like I like the classical music. And like
My
eventually that
yeah.
changed. Like I could rattle off the words to like most every like somewhat popular song now. It's like my
People are like,
superpower.
oh, you don't listen to like Rage Against the Machine or Nirvana or Green Day, and I'm just like, uh. So I went from classical music to Weird Al Yankovic.
I love Weird Al.
That is like Bad Hair Day is literally the first album I've ever bought.
Are we old enough to say that Naruto was brand new? Did we see the birth of Naruto? I would say unequivocally yes.
Wait, when did Naruto start?
After I was born, that's all I know.
Airing date. I gotta look it up because I don't know.
I had no idea either.
2002 is when Naruto started.
Oh, absolutely. We
Yeah.
would be 2002. We would be like 23ish if we were born at the same time as Naruto. And I don't think a
Yeah.
20-something qualifies as a hag. That's a loaded question.
Oh, no.
We were
no.
being tested.
To me, that is like, oh, my sweet baby. Can I give you cookies and head pats?
Those youngins these days.
Oh, yeah.
the skateboards in there.
I gotta send them off to school.
In my day, I used to walk 500 miles one way in the snow.
In my day, I actually did walk like a mile in the snow to the bus stop.
Your driveway was hella long, and so is mine. We walked, man.
Oh, did you ever get to experience going up the driveway when it was iced over?
Probably. I probably did.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember it. I might have fell in the ice and blacked that part of my memory out, but I was there long enough. I should have.
Oh yeah, for context, during God, this is hard to explain. TLDR, she was trying to change industries of where she was working, etc. So she
Yeah.
was staying with me at my parents' house because we had a spare room because my brother had moved out. And my parents' place is basically, farm, lots of place, plenty of people, space for extra people kind of thing. So it was a great place to be like, hey, you can like rent a room here. But the to get to the farm, you have to go through like into a valley where there's a little stream / river. And yeah, every winter it turns into like just this treacherous death trap. Yeah,
Yes, I
sometimes
am.
I wait when yeah.
I was gonna just say I'm eternally grateful for that. That let me do like so many things I couldn't have if I didn't have that bit of support. So very very grateful for that.
And like that, I think that's actually like one of my early life things where I remember, even though I wasn't like my best person, so to speak, throughout my life, like I'm definitely a lot better than I was like 5-10 years ago. I had a lot more anger back then, is what I guess I would say.
Yeah, same. I remember
Um,
some angry things that I did.
yeah, I was a lot more angry, but I definitely had the right idea. I was like, when you said that you wanted to get out of where you were and go to do new things, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could leverage this spare room. Like, actually, like, how can I help out someone in my life? I took classes in Excel.
Yeah, they
So
asked
no.
if we were older than Excel. When was Excel
Uh,
made? Maybe I'm making a claim that I can't back up, but I did take classes
uh,
in it. I was actually excelling in school, and I took college classes while in high school.
we're both older than Excel. It released it in a date.
A date. You won't even share it with me because it's going to shock me too much. I might die of my old
1985.
age.
It's
1985. Oh yeah, yeah.
it's
I'm actually older than that. Shit.
it's 1 year younger than me.
Well, you just dated yourself hardcore there.
Hi, I am. I turned 40 last year.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
Now I have a rough number over my head. It's something greater than 40.
yeah, like 70.
Yeah, that is technically over 40.
Uh,
We before Chad asks, we were not here before the dinosaurs.
I mean, yeah, probably there probably weren't any dinosaurs back then. I don't think so.
Dead
We don't tell
ones.
them about the dinosaurs. We don't tell them about the dinosaurs. They can't know about the dinosaurs.
Oh, that made me
Jurassic
remember
Park
the
was stuck
TV
in
show
memory.
Dinosaurs.
Oh,
Not the mama. Bang.
not the mama. Uh, do you remember Land Before Time?
Yes. Oh, that was it. Petrie. I think that was the name of the
Yeah,
one.
and I have a ducky. I still have the ducky.
Ducky. That's the one I was thinking of.
I still have the rubber puppet over there, sitting in my cabinet.
That is surprising. That has held up. Normally, like the rubber would deteriorate and crack and dry up over time.
Oh yeah, and it's still like pliable and everything, and has all the paint, most of the paint on it.
Not bad. I'm surprised it
It actually,
survived.
it's because you can put your hand up inside of it. Um, I
It's getting clipped. Somebody clip that.
well, okay. Here's the thing. Um, I always had it on the bedpost to my childhood bed. Just shoved it right up in there. So now I have it on top of a memento, a bottle in in the cabinet over there. Childhood embarrassing crushes.
Yeah, I have a story where I was embarrassed in front of my crush. I don't know if that
Mm.
ticks the box. but I could always go first, and if you need some time to think.
Oh no, you go ahead.
Okay. So this was like, it's not really elementary in the sense that probably most are thinking of in the US. Elementary and middle were combined for me. So this was more like maybe
Uh,
seventh, eighth grade. And I was sitting on the bleachers, and there was this girl that I liked at the time, and she was right there. And since we were like the older students, we were like, I forget why we were kind of in charge of the younger students, but we were. More than likely, I chose this duty to get some time near her. But we were sitting on the bleachers talking, and this little kid comes up, sits down, and I forget exactly what happens. Maybe like she's braiding her hair or something like that. Um, and she just looks at me in front of my crush and goes, "Hey, your breath is stinky." I like died on the spot. I'm like, I'm young, right? I could get away with murdering this child. We're not too far apart in age. It's not that bad, right? I could just reach out and strangle her. She's right there. Not really, but
uh,
yeah, it was so embarrassing. I like just died on the spot. I didn't recover or approach her for a while, hoping that like helped her to forget.
oh, geez, that's
Kids are brutal. Like I don't know why that was the case, or even if it was the case, but that's what she said.
so. Stinky Fox is true.
Yeah, maybe it's like historically accurate.
Uh, oh God. For me, disclaimer: I'm technically asexual. I don't really get too much into the whole romance thing, or is it aromantic? I forget the terms and labels correctly. But even as a kid, I was never like super into like I should date people. I should be like romantic. Like that's not really a thing for me. Like the way that I tend to be like, I'm interested in that person. Maybe I should get with them. Is more like I become friends with them, and I'd be like, actually, I really like this person. Like, damn, damn. Like after getting to know them, right? However, there is someone that I was friends with that I was like, oh damn, I like her. Like I really like her. And I never really like acted on it. Um, because I was like, oh well, I mean, then I'd have to like, I'd have to actually go talk to her, right? I'd have to go talk to her. Like that's embarrassing. I'd have to talk to her. So if it's not already obvious, like girls
Yeah.
cute, girls pretty. Uh, uh, so yeah. Also, so I was like, oh, she's not gonna like me back, that kind of thing, stigma, that kind of stuff. So after, it wasn't too long after graduation, maybe within the first month, because we hung out a lot. I'd also go over to her house, that kind of thing. Also with other friends. Um, she's like, so why did you never ask me out? And I'm just like in front of someone else, and I'm just like. God damn.
Called out.
Yet I'm like, oh, um,
Oh,
how do I
panda.
answer this? If I had a nickel for every lesbian chicken VTuber I knew, I would have two, which is a lot, but it's weird that happens. I'm not a chicken. I'm an owl. That's not.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. That is the one thing. You knew where I grew up. It was not
yeah.
exactly city or progressive area, but not like super regressive.
It was way better
But it
than
was
where I
still
grew up.
definitely, definitely. Damn, your place is
I grew up in a forest, no lie.
okay. When you're like, hey, you're gonna have like a hard time finding your place, and I'm like, I'm a really good navigator. I can find places. She's like, okay, so you got to go up here, through here, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I start going, like to get to her place, like the first time to meet her to pick her up, and I'm just like, I am going into a horror movie. There is dense fog everywhere. Um, I'm basically going somewhere to get murdered.
At one point, you hear the banjo from Deliverance start playing.
Oh yeah, the one time when I went to your place and there wasn't any fog, and I literally see a guy on a rocking chair holding a shotgun on a porch, and I'm just like,
Yep,
okay, huh?
that does not surprise me.
I'm like, what is going on here? Like it is like Deliverance or whatever. Like I feel like I've gone somewhere I should not be.
Yeah, unless you know the people that they're basically harmless, or hey, that's the one you need to watch out for. They could all, to an outsider, seem pretty spooky. It's like any of the horror movies you see where they go out in the middle of the country and everybody just looks spooky for whatever reason.
Yeah,
That's
like
roughly where I lived.
exactly. Like I lived on a farm in a forest, but it wasn't too far from a highway. So like there was civilization like within 30 minutes. I went to your place and I'm like, if I died out here, no one would know.
Yeah. And to kind of
Just like
further that point, they like 911 couldn't find us. We were not on a map. They had to fix that later because of how that whole area is set up. So that might give you a little indication as to how rural this place was
well,
and
yeah,
how
the
hard
road
to
going
find
into
I
your place was
was.
mostly dirt.
Yeah. Yeah, which has to
Dirt
have
and stones.
stones every season, if not twice. I was a
Yeah,
bill
like
yeah. Huh. Huh.
huh,
Huh.
huh, huh. It's kind of how I felt talking like the local accent there. It's like, huh, huh.
Oh, I said that on like my last stream is I actually worked that country drawl out of my vocabulary while I still lived there. And I
Wait,
did
can
it
you still
by
do it though?
horse rag. Yeah, instead of washcloth, which this was my practice.
Wash.
Wash rag.
Yeah, wash rag.
Yeah, it's a washcloth, but it's wash rag.
Uh,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of that in my grandparents' side. I did not inherit it.
Oh, I drove it out like the demons. Like I would put a thick rubber band
Big
around my
gun.
wrist, and every time I heard myself do a southern drawl, I would snap it 3 times, say it correctly 3 times, and then I would
Mm.
repeat. And that drove it out of me. I no longer say washcloth, wash rag rather. See, I couldn't even do it on purpose. Wash rag. I don't even do that. It's always washcloth. My brain doesn't think of anything else.
Yeah, my Japanese tutor is like, so yeah, we're working on pronunciation today. I'm tired of your shit.
I can't understand damn words coming out of your bird beak.
Yeah, and yeah, that's actually a really good thing. Like, if you have like maybe a lisp or a different thing you want to improve, finding like whether it be a language teacher or a vocal coach or something like that, or speech pathologist it's called, they really can help you out. And like my Japanese teacher, she's like, oh, the letter N there, like donna, you're supposed to pronounce the N. It's not like part of the thing before it, like do. It's its own separate syllable. You're supposed to be like do na na. It's like donna. So I was like, oh shit. I thought that was like supposed to be combined with like the syllable before. It's like, no. It's mostly kind of separate. And like, oh shit. So I had to figure out how to pronounce it correctly. So yeah, if you ever like want to like work on stuff, either figure out how to do it yourself or find someone that can help you.
Yeah, I grew up being
Random tips.
I grew up being a parrot, not intentionally referencing chat from earlier, but I would mimic sounds. I would mimic accents. Cuz I just thought it was fun. So I would do like whatever the TV was doing, and if I found a word or a phrase that I found was kind of interesting to be heard, and so I would just do that again and try it a few times, and that's how I started doing like voices and all of that. So I've always
The
been
voices in your
making
head.
weird yes, I made them real.
It's like the time that I spent in Alabama. Um, like I can kind of sort of do an Alabama accent if I want, but it's not. I don't think entirely authentic, but it sort of sounds close. That
I
was my
guess
best attempt right there.
I would have to hear it again. I'm so far removed. I could
Pandora,
approximate.
Pandora, you want to come down to Alabama to me, and we can go on hang out.
That sounds a little Applejackish.
Yes, I, I went a little too hard, a little too hard. Pandora's a parrot, affirmed. If I am a chicken, she
Yeah.
is a parrot.
Yeah, I do the vocal mimicry. I even do it today. If I hear something interesting, I'll say it again. Because like if it's that's a cool accent. How did they say that word? I'll say it again. And then like sometimes wifey will be like, "What? What did you say? Were you talking to me?" I'm like, "No, I was just mimicking the TV again."
Oh, how's your Japanese studies coming? I'm not checking in on you at all.
I feel
How's
like
the
this is like
Japanese studies coming?
it's like a vampire pose. Like I did that. Like you're gonna bite my neck. It's actually pretty good. I can read to a certain degree, and if I don't understand it, like Duolingo will give me like 4 options. I can like reason out the ones that are right and wrong.
What did Panda do?
What?
Booba, why? I need to.
Dear, 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 dear,
Lime
dear,
sound-
dear, dear.
Lime sounds like she really. Oh, because of the accent.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I mean, incest, more like wincest.
wing cest.
No, win, but plus incest, wincest. Like
So,
you're
like-
winning.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask. You mean like winning?
Incest, more like wincest.
Oh God. Oh
Uh,
goodness. Where the
I mean, as long-
warm bodies are slim pickings, and your cousin
long as
or your
there's no,
sister
like,
looks
babies,
awfully
right?
inviting. Oh, I did a little bit inviting.
Oh, a little bit inviting.
Oh, y'all want to come down here to the creek and fetch out some crawdads?
Oh yeah, and then afterwards we can go
There you
relax on the
go.
Davenport.
Oh, my grandmother called it a Davenport. It's for those of you who
Yeah.
don't know what a Davenport is. It's a couch.
Yes, it is a specific brand of couch.
It's like saying Kleenex for tissue.
It's
An
almost,
ottoman.
Yes, it's almost like where my grandparents grew up is very close to your part of the world where you grew up.
Yeah, it's pretty geographically similar.
Yes. It's the reason it's called I'll just dox my home area, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
You've never heard that before?
I have. It's just still funny.
Yeah, like the rural parts of Pennsylvania, they'll call them like Alabama or Kentucky, but Pennsylvania doesn't really, roll off the tongue, so it gets called Pennsylvania. So the rural areas tend to be called that because once you leave like Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, suddenly it's like, yeah, this is it's very rural.
Yeah. We're about to get a risky question that we are under no obligation to answer, by the way. Just we'll field
only
the
wrong
questions.
answers?
Wrong answers only.
Waiting for that question.
I need some Jeopardy music in here.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm taking my glasses off.
Okay.
I just thought about this because of the Kleenex mention.
Well, ask the question.
Ask the question.
Don't give us the context or the backstory. Ask us the question.
We need the
You've
question.
got the whole stream hanging on you right now.
Yes. Yes. What is your question?
Pressure.
I don't know.
Pressure.
I don't know how to get closer to the chat over here.
That. Ooh.
Do you-
I don't know about that one. I don't think I have any. I got walked in on stories. You might.
Sure I have.
You're like, oh, there were so many times. Which one do I choose from?
More like
I have a plethora of stories.
I mean, when you're a kid and, going through puberty, obviously you need some privacy. But when you live in a house with parents, either they have to be out or it has to be like, nighttime.
You have to
you
pick your
know?
moments carefully.
Yeah. They're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay in there?" And I'm like, "Mhm,
Just give
I'm
me a
very okay
minute.
right now."
And then an egg shoots across the room, hits the door, opens the door, knocks the parents over. They roll down the stairs, and they're holding the egg.
Congratulations, here's your grandchild.
Yes, I cranked one out for you. Stop asking. Slams the door.
Oh God, no,
I
no,
don't think
no,
I
no.
have any of those. I was a ninja at that. I don't
I
think
mean,
everybody ever caught me.
I was pretty good at avoiding it. Um, but I'm pretty sure there's at least like where I was like either like after I like before I started or after I ended, where like oh there's footsteps. They're like, oh hey, you've been in there a while. I was like, oh just hard poo. you know, hard
Oh,
poop, right?
I busted a vein trying to get that out. Woo! Don't go in there.
Oh, okay. Do you remember the toilet at my parents' place? How it always had horrible times flushing.
I need that little like
You
circling thought animation. 'Cause
okay?
no,
Okay. You remember the big bathroom with like the flowers on it and everything for the wallpaper?
no. You know how my
It had the
memory
wall.
is.
Okay, and it had like the big clawfoot tub, the cast iron clawfoot tub.
No.
Uh, do you remember the cramped shower in the corner?
I do not actually. I only remember one moment. Well actually a couple moments. One is the kitchen because you know why? Because like your mom,
Mm-hmm.
she just lives for that kitchen. So that kind of is ingrained, and I know where her
Okay.
laptop used to be because of
Uh-huh.
like things. But the other part is I only remember your bedroom, your bed, and then which wall your computer was on. It's basically at the foot of your bed. That's the only parts about the house. I kind of remember the room that I was at. Up the stairs to the right, I think that was mine, and yours was just the next door over.
Do you not remember all the like sad moments?
My mind typically blocks out sad moments.
Oh, is it okay if I tell this story?
Oh, I guess is it me being sad?
Yes, but it was also very heartwarming.
Okay, yeah, we'll take a gamble on it. Go for it.
Okay, so clarification, like Pandora came out to this place, start a new life, move on, that sort of thing. But she was working really hard on like two different jobs, stressed the fuck out.
Daytime job, nighttime job.
Daytime, nighttime, daytime,
Nighttime,
nighttime.
nighttime.
Wait, no, wait. Daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime.
I like how nighttime is you leaning forward and eclipsing anything under you with the booba. That's true
I'm putting
nighttime.
them yes. But yeah, she's like stressed the fuck out. And I had been helping her to like budget monthly bills and everything because she was paying rent and also helping out with grocery, food expenses in the house and things like that. Um, and at one point, she came back and she was just basically broken down. And I sat on the end of her bed with her, like hugging around her because she was breaking down and crying. Because she was working one really hard physical job, and I forget. I don't even remember what the other job was.
Oh, I worked at a bank and I did stocking overnight for Lowe's. Those were my two.
Right. I didn't want to mention the jobs just in case.
Yeah, it's been so
Uh,
long ago.
but yeah, and the paraphrased short version of this was she's like, I'm not gonna make it. Like I can't make this work. That kind of thing. Like the defeatist attitude and like depressed and crying and everything. And I just remember, sitting there and hugging around her and being like, this will work out. You know, you're strong. You can do this. You've done so many things in your life. Like you said about, your willpower to be like, I want to have a certain way I pronounce words and a certain accent. Like, I know that you're strong and that you will make this happen. And like, that's like a core memory for me of you is like you being broken down and then rising up from those ashes and like flourishing in the world.
I should have been a phoenix. Maybe I
Instead,
am a
stinky butts.
firefox instead of a stinky
Oh
fox.
God!
Yeah.
You just dyed your hair.
Yes, exactly. I went incognito mode and just figured be flamboyant. They won't notice. They won't look this way.
Instead, you became a Nintendo Switch.
Yes. I still don't remember that. Even after all, I just don't. I'm like, yeah, I can definitely see myself having done that. And I'm like, it kind of sounds a little familiar, but the way my mind works, I just don't, unfortunately. So I definitely take your word for it.
Yeah, there's so many things that I remember. Like, I mean, I definitely remember the part before I blacked out.
But then there was
And,
this awful pain afterwards, after I woke up, and I never understood why.
oh no, this was in relation to this was before I even knew you. I think.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Random.
I was joking. I did something to you, like took a
No,
kidney
no.
or something.
I have a lot of like memories of like my childhood, and they're like, "Oh, you're supposed to forget everything about your childhood and all that. You're not supposed to remember this stuff." And I'm like, "Why do I remember all this?"
Like there's
Took the
one core memory I have. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
oh,
I'll
go
tell
ahead.
you
No, go.
after you're done.
Oh, mine is just I took a sled off like a 5-6 foot tall snow ramp we built like onto the driveway, and basically clonked my head and almost gave myself a concussion.
Ooh.
Yeah, my mom had to come out and wake me up.
Mm.
Anyway, go ahead, please
Yeah.
tell
Yeah.
me.
Uh, the reason why I remember like where your bed was and where your computer was, because I would always come in and sit and talk, and then you would always be at the
Oh yeah,
computer, which is pretty typical of me as well. But the reason why I remember it so clearly is I don't advertise this because I don't. It's me, I shouldn't give every detail. It's just like listing out like everything on your driver's license to everybody you ever meet, kind of thought, right? I don't
yeah.
always say that I'm like, hey, I'm transgendered, and this is a voice I've been working on for quite some time, right? You might. It sounds like you might remember the moment. Like I was sitting on your
No,
bed and I was practicing my voice, and something just clicked in my throat, and you stopped what you were doing and turned around, and you were just like so surprised that it just suddenly went into like a feminine tone.
I
I
don't
just
remember
remember
this.
I remember it so clear because I'm like, I couldn't tell because it's me. The voice you hear internally is different than the one that you project, so you never really
Oh,
hear it
definitely.
unless you hear it back on a recording. So to have that reaction, it just solidified it in my brain. I'm like, okay, whatever I did it well. Keep doing that, and it kind of helped me to build onto what I have today because of that moment of affirmation.
Yeah, well, shit. I wish I remembered this now.
Oh, what
Okay,
about
so
the time? Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
We'll take
so I
turns.
remember about you being, being sad and crying, and you remember about your positive moments.
My
So
vocal breakthrough. Yeah.
I will remember. So you don't have to remember your bad stuff. I remember the bad stuff for you. Got it.
This is like this is your life, but like the shitty edition. Here's all the bad things that you forgot.
I'll help you remember them.
Yes. Do you remember when?
Hey, do you remember when I like blacked out and crashed into a Buick with you?
I remember an accident going to a convention in the rain, and I remember an accident when we were moving. There was a third accident that I blacked out
Actually,
with.
wait a minute. The vast majority of my accidents have been when you have been in the passenger seat.
Oh no, I'm bad luck. Hey PT, thank you for the head pats.
Oh God. No. So my very first car accident was with Pandora. TLDR, I was young, had a lot of sleep problems, and for this convention, it was very close to home, so we were just driving there every day instead of paying for a hotel because we were young and broke. It made a lot more sense.
Yep.
So on the way there, I obviously don't remember the exact details, and it's been a long time, so I don't think Pandora does either. But I was talking to Pandora. It was raining, and we're going down a slight hill towards the convention center, and I just went just out, completely blacked out. And I
I think
woke up after the accident. So
yeah,
I basically just slid through an intersection and T-boned a Buick on a red light.
yep, that's the same one I was thinking of. I didn't know you'd
Yep.
blacked out though. That part I was too scared in the moment to probably even notice
Yeah.
that. But there's a bit more context to that as well. Since we were at a convention, I was in cosplay. Do you remember what I was dressed as and what I looked like?
Wait, was it the was it the maid uniform?
No. Think about like the worst thing that you could wear and have an officer see you. That's what I was wearing. If you
Oh
guys
wait, was
want
it
to go ahead.
Dirty Pair?
What? No, no. I'll tell you, it's a like not a very mainstream anime. Kotobuki Ran. It was a gal-based
Oh
anime,
right.
and she
Right,
had
right.
what could be in U.S. terms equated to like streetwalker clothes. is, is the
You looked very
easiest way.
sexy. That's basically it.
Yeah, and I was in the passenger seat, so I looked like I had just been picked up. And an officer came to the window, and the burb was already up in the other person's car exchanging information. So I was by myself. I had to like answer this particular policeman. They came up and they knocked on my window, and I didn't roll it down because, transgendered. I didn't have my voice quite there yet, and I was dressed how I was dressed. And I'm like, I'm not going to
Oh
roll it
no.
down. But I'm going to try and answer them without rolling my window down because it's raining, right? It makes sense not to roll your window down. So they knocked and they're like, "Where's the driver?" And I pointed up to that car, like, "Up there." And I mouthed it. And they thankfully just went up to the car. And I'm like, "Oh, thank God I didn't get like arrested for a suspicion of being a streetwalker."
That is some projection right
Oh.
there.
That it
Uh,
was absolutely hilarious. After the fact, it was hilarious. In the moment, I was terrified.
yeah, for me, after the fact, I went into the LARP room for the LARP I was participating in, went to a corner, curled up, cried, and then slept for 3 hours.
Mm.
That was my convention experience.
All but one of my accidents have been with you too.
The other one involved oh okay. If you're ever in America and you see a sign that says the bridge ices before the road or bridge may ice before the road, if you're in the Northeast, that sign is meaningless because it already both get frozen at the same time. However, down south, that's not may, that is will. Because because it doesn't get as cold as quickly down there, the bridge absolutely will be frozen before the road. So I was pulling a trailer with the Jeep
Yep.
that I had,
Yep.
and everything was fine, clear road, hit the bridge, no more control. It wasn't a bad accident. We basically just went off the road, and the trailer got a little dinged up because it contacted the Jeep a little bit. Or no, it contacted the bridge.
Yeah, I contacted that.
So I kept it more or less under control, but it was a very brief off-road experience.
Yeah, and we ended up in that little grassy part that's dipping down between the two sides of the highway. We ended up partially in that.
Yeah. And then it did like 20, 30 miles an hour all the way back. I was like,
Do you
okay.
do you remember the song I drove you crazy with on that road trip?
No, because I probably blacked it out.
I had so many remixes of Eye of the Tiger on tap.
Oh,
I drove
fuck.
you freaking crazy. It's the Eye of the Tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. You're like, anything else. Play anything else. Eventually, you just like got mad at me and told me to stop playing it. Because technically, it wasn't the same song. It was different remixes of Eye of the Tiger. Oh, I just unlocked a core memory.
The soul is leaving my body. No.
I can tell. Your VTuber's also losing her soul.
Here, I can,
Uh,
there, I've lost my soul. No more blood. Uh, that's say so mode. Like, I am pure.
You'd like the holy chanting to happen.
Exactly. Oh, book to face. Boof. Do you remember that? That
Remember
meme?
the what?
No.
Boot to the face? Or
Uh,
no, it's boot to the head.
no, no,
And
no.
one
It's a
for like
commercial where
somebody
they're
else like boot to the
chanting.
head. Oh.
No, no, it's a commercial where they're chanting, and then it's a bunch of monks chanting, and they just hit their face with a book.
Oh yes, that like da, 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 da,
Yes.
da, thump, and they do it in sync. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing.
I thought you were talking about boot to the head.
Mm.
And one for Ginny and the
Oh,
Wimp. Boom, boom.
compromising clothing. I have uh same convention, different year. Um, there was a lady who was crosplaying as a guy from some show. Um, but I was dressed up as a Bishonen from a different show. I don't want to say the show because I'm sure there's pictures of me out on the internet and I don't want people to find them. It's because they're embarrassing. Um, but I was cosplaying this character and yeah, uh, she stole my pants. She tackled me and ripped my pants off.
What? I do not remember that. I should definitely remember that.
I don't know if you were there. I can't remember if you were
Ah.
there or not, or at least at that particular time. But she tackled me, ripped my pants off. Now, the thing is these are pants I was wearing over top of my jeans, so it wasn't a problem. But yeah, she stole my pants because she's like, because I'm like, I'm dressing as pretty boy. She's like, pretty boy, and she's like, I'm gonna steal your pants. I'm like, what? Like inappropriate convention
Oh,
behavior, right?
that was pre-cosplay does not equal consent movement.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I remember that so much.
Oh,
Uh,
I
God,
I have
that is,
a funny
yeah.
con story now that we're kind of like reminiscing. All of it's kind of coming back. Um,
Oh God, go for it.
Again, transgendered, and I didn't always have the voice that I have right now. I started out always using just guy voice,
Yeah, but
but
you always looked as hot as you do now.
oh, thank you, I appreciate that, and that can be very jarring for people. So I was at a convention, and this happened multiple times. There's multiple instances of this happening, and I always found it so hilarious. It happened in one of two ways. One of them was I was dressed as a female character, and I was talking with some friends at the bottom of a staircase. I was talking at normal volume, and oh my god, my cat's in here. I think she got locked in. Let me go toss her out. She's trying to get out. Oh, it's like I took a nap. My eyes were closed and everything. Oh, but yeah, the person was coming down the stairs. I was talking with friends at the base of the stairs. They got within earshot of me, and they must have seen me around the convention and such, but didn't realize it until they got within earshot of me and I was talking. They
Oh
screamed
yeah.
so loud, like, "Oh my god, I thought you were a girl." At the
Oh,
like
it's so
top of their
rude.
freaking lungs, and it was a huge open area in the hotel, so their voice carried among all of the
Ah!
murmuring,
Here,
and it was
I'm gonna let
absolutely
my soul
funny.
leave for you. Mm,
The other times were the
uh,
ones that happened more frequently. Again, I passed visually at that time, not audibly. So, and as we mentioned earlier, one does have to relieve themselves. So at conventions, I would have to go into the appropriate biological bathroom, dressed as I
yes.
was, passing as I did, and walk up to the standing parts. And people, I
You can
tried,
go into the stall,
I tried my best to get in and get out super fast. And I tried to pick the furthest bathrooms from the populated areas. I had a plan. I had a strategy. That strategy didn't always pan out because other people had similar strategies. Like, I'm just going to go over there. So there was times when I was doing it to get in and out really fast. Didn't want to go behind a door and get trapped. I wanted to be able to get in and get out fast. So I was standing there And somebody walked in at one point, saw me, turned around, walked out, thought about it, turned around, walked back in, and like, wait a minute, they're standing. And he's just like, I don't know if he even said anything, but he just came in and did his business.
I mean, nowadays people just own it, and I'm like, oh, that's just. Is baller the word? Nah.
Is what the word?
I love seeing the pictures on the internet of like I don't know if they're trans or not, but some of the guys are clearly just doing crossplay because they want to.
Right.
So like seeing the picture of them going into like the men's bathroom or the women's bathroom in the reverse, and I just love seeing that. And then like they post the pictures, and I'm like, back then you wouldn't think about that, but today they're like, haha, I'm owning it. Yes. Oh, Booba does the cross dress.
Yes.
Yeah, like I don't really consider cross dressing anymore, but I mean more of a particularly that character was not intended for this build kind of thing.
The parts are mismatching.
Yeah.
I miss conventions and
Ah.
cosplay. So many fun memories. Oh, I remembered a bad one. I don't know. Like you said, your voice was dying. I need to end soon because it's like 11:30 p.m. my time. But
yeah, it's also 13:29 here.
I dress as another female character. I don't want to say which one because like Oz said, yeah, it could probably track those pics down.
I mean, I have all the pictures of that I've taken you of all your cosplays.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Like I know pictures exist. Whether or not they're publicly available after this much time is definitely questionable. But I was dressed, of course, again as a female character that I really loved at the time, and there were jerks running around the convention dressed as Santa Claus, and they were calling out anything that they could find bad about people, and I was a very glaring thing for them to say because, again, they probably heard me. So they came running by, 4 guys dressed in Santa outfits at an anime convention and just like called me out loudly. Oh, what did I say back? I said something back that was very witty, and I'm like, oh my God, that was scary. Why did I even say that out loud to 4 people who clearly just tossed me over this balcony? But I came back in some kind of quick, witty way. And they just kept running. Like, they weren't looking for the conflict, thankfully, but that hurt
They're just being
little bit.
assholes.
Yeah, they were being assholes. They got tossed out eventually, but yeah.
Eventually. Yeah, we should end this. We've gone very far off.
Yeah. Yeah, we should find a few compilations of like old TV show intros, old songs, old commercials, and just have a hackathon.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm really enjoying like the. Okay, you know when you say like when you do collabs, you should be able to like. Sometimes it's just business. Like I want to collab with this person because they're in the same industry or interests, like that sort of thing.
Yeah, we
but
share
collabs
audiences.
with people. Yeah, but collabing with like friends and such, especially when you can play naturally off each other, is great. Which is what I'm getting at is we have not been able to do this in a long time, and I'm enjoying myself so much.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever done this on stream. Just absolutely let go and have story time.
Exactly. But you know, I need to wrap up because my voice hurts and I'm not gonna be able to speak for like the next day.
Yeah, I'm getting a headache back. It's because I've been laughing so hard.
Oh, I'm glad that my chicken bone can make you laugh.
Chicken bone? Is that what I felt when the jail cell was in play?
Yes.
Chicken bone. The eyes behind me don't help with the visual. Caw!
Caw! Caw! Caw! Here, let me cool you down. You're too hot.
Yeah, I am a bit roasty toasty. I've got my door shut to the office, and the airflow is non-existent when I do that.
Oh yeah, if I eventually when a certain person is here, I'll have to use the sliding door and it just gets it gets so bad in here. But yeah, do it more, do it more. No, no.
Right. Well, we'll have to make this a different stream then. Just a hackathon,
Yeah.
like I said. Like, do you remember? Pandora, would you do a video for voice training? I have never thought about actually teaching people because I just kind of figured it out. I watched some videos about it on YouTube, which are very technical, and I'm just like, I don't get anything that they're saying. But I kind of make it work. So,
I
I don't know if I'd be the best
personally,
source.
I could do a video on some voice training, but the thing is, because you really have to point out, like, here's how you kind of move your like a tongue and your throat and such. It's very visual as well, not just audible. So you have to use a camera and
Well, you could
yeah,
use like a
yeah.
model or stock footage or something like that.
I work for a Japanese company. I'm not no camera.
Oh no, definitely no camera. Instead of an
Yeah.
unwritten VTuber rule, no camera. But yeah, I
If
would
you're
if I approached it, I would have like diagrams.
I am going to find okay. This is specifically I'm gonna link it in your chat, Pandora, on YouTube, maybe if it'll work.
If not, I can
Actually, wait,
copy
I can
paste
just
it.
if I just do the here, at trans voice lessons,
Yes.
obviously it's geared towards trans people, but um, she goes heavily into the concepts of how to control, your voice box, your tongue, resonance, and everything. Things that
Yep.
apply to all types of voice acting and voice training.
Yep. That's the one that I
So
was
while it
thinking
is,
of that
yeah.
was highly technical.
So while it is geared towards trans people, there's a ton of advice in there that you can use for all types of voice stuff, singing, whatever. So yeah, I have to pee again.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna end. I'll leave one tiny like voice tip. It's not always about the pitch. The way speech happens is different from male to female. Like a guy's voice will typically go and then at the end of a sentence. A female would probably go uh-huh and up. So there's certain little
Yeah.
differences that you change in how you speak. Like I just went speak, right? Versus speak. Like every now and
Speak?
then I'll do that
Speak?
for like
Cracker? Cracker?
Birdie want a cracker? But like for like certain points I want to make, I'll go down to be serious. But generally, I'm going up. But yes,
how I
that's my
talk at
last
work.
voice. Go
How I
ahead.
talk at work is more like, yeah, so we need to get this thing done. It's very monotone and such. And yeah, there you go.
What about music? I don't know anything about music. I used to play instruments, but that's like in the past.
I don't know. Well, it's not my channel. you figured that out, Pandora.
Will do.
Hi, I'm Asiana. I've joined Pandora here, so I'm gonna force us to close because otherwise we'll keep
going.
tangenting.
Yeah, it's that whole teenager. No, you hang up. No, you hang up.
No, you hang.
I thought you
No,
were gonna
you
hang up. You're still here. Hee hee.
No. It's like, and then someone yells, "Get off the phone!"
I have
I need to
no
use the
idea about
internet.
right. And your mom picks up, and then like you hear the click, and you suddenly go quiet.
Spying on me.
Oh, so streams can have music. Okay. Like if it's an OBS streaming thing, absolutely. I can show you how to make it work on Twitch. It will not work on YouTube. Because YouTube has nothing like what Twitch does to filter out one channel and leave it out of your VOD for copyright reasons. So that is going to be in my my series that I'm currently working on for redoing my stream. So it'll eventually have its own video.
You remember earlier what I said? I hadn't farted the whole stream.
Was that gagging sound you farting? Do your farts come out the front? Is this some
No.
bird like
No.
what's that? Anatomy. There we
No,
go.
that-
Anatomy that I need to know about.
I farted and it smells really bad. I need to leave.
Oh, it's like those TikToks where they fart in the inflatable suit's air intake, and you just see the dinosaur thrash. But yes, we need to end. Otherwise, we're both going to die of some various things. So thank you again for
Uh,
everybody who came, who chatted, who gave us questions. Again, Asiana and I am Pandora Ammonium, YouTube,
Thank you for
Twitch.
having me.
Yes, you're quite welcome. We need to do things like this more often.
Yes.
But yes, when are you
Mm.
streaming next? How can they find you before we quit?
So it's Limeburb VA on both Twitch and YouTube. The next time I stream is whenever I feel like it.
There, I'll
As
put
I-
it
as
on
you've-
both.
As I've mentioned, I get a very bad throat after about an hour or two, so I have to be very careful with when I stream. So, yeah.
Bye bye,
Bye-bye,
chicken
chicken.
lady. Chicken
Uh,
jockey!
No! I
Hold
will
on,
not be associated with that.
Chicken jockey!
Wait,
Here, I need to
Uh,
click you. How do I bring you forward? This is
Wait.
turning into something I didn't mean it to turn into. Hold on. I was trying to imitate Minecraft movie, not like not
Look,
like
if you're gonna
something
put your
that would be
thighs
like
in
Bow
front of
Chicky
me.
Wow Wow. It's Thighs Day.
Look, you're gonna put those thighs in front of me. I mean, I'm gonna get some.
How many
chicken.
licks does it take to the center of Pandora's thighs? Yeah, for me, I'm trying to suss out my actual stream schedule. Tuesdays is a solid for now. I might bring back Fridays. I'm looking to stream Destiny 2 with a longtime friend of mine. Not the Burb, different friend. So not sure when that will be. We're still working that out. But stay tuned.
All right, Pandora. Until next time, I will see you later. Ka!
I was waiting for that. I was hoping that's what she did. I have nothing of the sort, but I can do this. Well, hold on. Wee! I need a faster scroll wheel. But I will see everybody the next time. Tuesday's the earliest that I'll be back. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks again for everything. And I'll see everybody later.